Thank you, Kevin and Austin. And everyone
Headed
who
into
came
the
out tonight
final
from the Boys
week
and Girls
of the
Club
regular
Cape Cod.
season in the Cape Cod Baseball League, YD making their final trip of the regular season to Doran Park to take on the Bourne Braves for the first time in 3 complete weeks. The Red Sox reeling, losing their last 2 games following a win streak that stretched out across 4. Luke Westpoli, Perry Kitai alongside Perry prior to the off day, a very forgettable game for YD. Speaking of forgettable, the last time these two teams met here at Doran Park, it was the defense that really struck YD poorly, as they had all kinds of errors tied to the Cape League record in that game, but it was the offense in the game yesterday that was really YD's biggest struggle. 2 days ago, I should say, in Hartford, as they mustered just 1 hit against the Hyannis Harbor Hawks.
Absolutely, Luke. And they stepped up to the plate, and you said it then, it just didn't look like they were ready to hit. I mean, Hyannis came at them with a lot of speed up there in the mid to upper 90s as opposed to the low 90s, like maybe is the regular across the league. But YD has really shown that they're one of the streakier teams in the league. One day they look like championship contenders, and the next they can't see the ball for anything. And today against Bourne, a team that they walked off last time we played at Red Wilson Field on the walk-off sac fly from Dub Glead, who is not in the lineup today. He's recovering from a slight injury, should be back soon. But as you said, last time we left here, the scoreboard read 8 errors. It was downgraded to 6 upon review. Some of those controversial, but certainly will be an interesting night as YD has moved around the lineup and they look to bounce back and just get some hits on the board, put contact to the ball. They were striking out all over the place on Wednesday.
Right-hander Bryce Cunningham makes the start for the first time against YD this season. The All-Star out of Vanderbilt for Bourne has not thrown since the All-Star game, in which he hurled 2/3 of an inning of scoreless ball. And he will face off against Enzo Apodaca, who is inserted into the top of the lineup. First pitch comes in, and it's a strike on the fastball inside corner. 0-1 the count. The start time 6:03 p.m. tonight from Doran Park. Final trip the Red Sox will make here in the regular season. 0-1. Called strike again in a similar spot. No balls, 2 strikes as Cunningham moves ahead. Apodaca with the average at 287, an all-star in his own right. Righty on lefty. From the wind, the kick and the pitch. Swing and a foul tip, and it gets away from the catcher, Caden Bodine, up the third base line. He can't squeeze it, so Apodaca stays alive by the skin of his teeth. He'll see another at 0-2. Apodaca was not in the lineup in the game in Hartford a couple of days ago. 0-2 pitch. Breaking ball hammered out towards right field. Diggs making his way back towards the gap, leaping up, and he makes the catch near the wall, backpedaling for the first out of the inning.
That is almost the deepest we've seen Enzo go all season, but anything out there to right field today, heading towards Kendall Diggs, will probably be caught. He's been phenomenal for the Braves, their most recent pickup. He's made SportsCenter top 10 twice already this season, including just a couple of days ago.
Base is empty for Ryan Stafford. First pitch, swing and a miss. Fastball got by him. He was late for strike 1. 1 away in the top of the first inning as YD looks to put their first man aboard. 0-1. Swing and a miss again on another ball over the plate. Cunningham has been challenging these YD hitters. Hasn't tried to draw much chase so far. He is just going strength against strength. Ahead 0-2 once more. The pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Stafford goes down on 3 pitches as Bryce Cunningham showed him some gas in that at-bat. And now 2 gone for R.J. Austin. The base is still empty in the top of the first.
From Vanderbilt University, number 9, R.J. Austin.
Austin and Stafford both had hit streaks snapped in the game on Wednesday, but overall Austin, who is lower in the lineup than we're used to seeing him, usually in that leadoff spot.
First pitch runs inside for ball 1.
Likely.
Only YD hitter to get a hit in the game in Hartford was Brady Day, who smacked a double into right field. Ball and no strikes to Austin. The pitch. Breaking ball falls on the inner half. A ball and a strike. Austin's average still sits at .341 on the season. 1 home run and 9 batted in for the Vanderbilt Commodore against his teammate. The 1-1 sinks down low. 2 balls and a strike.
There's another Vanderbilt Commodore out there in the field, Jonathan Vastine over at second. Vanderbilt Commodores have had really great years all around.
Yeah, all 3 were all-stars. 2-1. Bounces in the other batter's box. 3 balls and a strike. Cunningham came in with a 1.37 ERA. He has been phenomenal this year for Bourne. 22 strikeouts in 19 2/3 innings pitched. He wants a new baseball, and he'll get it. 3 balls and a strike. The count to R.J. Austin. Scoreless game in the top of the first. 2 away, and the base is empty. Righty on righty. The wind and pitch. Hit in the air. Shallow left center field. Kuroda Grauer coming back from short. Instead, it'll be Peterson in left making his way towards the gap. He makes the catch on a ball that hung up there for a while. And that retires the side. Red Sox go down in order in the first. No score between YD and Bourne. Back in a moment from Doran Park. You're listening to Red Sox Baseball on the Cape League Broadcast Network. Home half of the first inning here from Doran Park. Luke Westpoli with Perry Keatseye alongside. Game 39 of the YD Red Sox regular season.
Number 9, Bryce
No
Evelyn.
score between YD and Bourne after a half inning of play. Red Sox went down 1-2-3, including 1 strikeout coming from Bourne pitcher Bryce Cunningham. Bryce Evelyn leads off for Bourne, lefty out of the University of Alabama. And the first pitch comes into him. He swings and misses at it for strike 1. Finnegan Wall, the starter for YD. 1-2 record on the year for Wall. 3.54 ERA, 32 Ks in 28 innings pitched. 0-1 to Evelyn, the pitch. Fastball clips the outer corner. No balls, 2 strikes.
Evelyn's batting .337 through 26 games coming into today. He is, I think, the only guy on the roster that was part of the Bourne Braves championship winning team last season.
0-2, down low with a grunt from Finnegan Wall. It's a ball and 2 strikes. Evelyn hitless against Finnegan Wall this season, but has had plenty of success at the top of the lineup for field manager in Scott Landers. Ball and 2 strikes to the leadoff man of the Bourne lineup. The wind and pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. More challenging as we saw in the top of the first. Wall was pounding the zone in the first batter. He gets Evelyn to cut and miss. And now we'll face off against Jonathan Vastine, the second baseman and all-star out of Vanderbilt, hitting .312 this year. Another lefty atop this lineup. The wind and pitch. Breaking ball low and in. 1 ball, no strikes. Vastine, a home run, 16 driven in this season for Bourne. We come in 4th in the West Division. 1-0 pitch. Fastball on the outer corner for strike 1. Despite being the final playoff spot as of right now, the Braves pretty safe as they're quite a ways ahead of Wareham. 1-1. Curls outside, 2 balls and a strike. YD, meanwhile, has already clinched playoffs and just playing for seeding right now. They sit atop the East Division and could clinch a division win within the next couple of days. 2-1. Hammered on the ground over to short, played on a one-hop by Jackson. He's up with it, throws to first in time. And there are quickly 2 gone in the bottom of the first inning.
With Gleed out on the bench, we've
Now
seen
batting,
a little
the
bit of a
designated hitter
shuffle
from Coastal
around of
Carolina,
the
number
infield.
44,
Theo Hardy, who's
Derek
been at
Bender.
short consistently, has been moved over to third base. Ryan Jackson in at short. Day at second, where he's been all year. And Xander Darby, with his height, has been moved over to first base.
Base is empty, 2 away, and a scoreless game. First pitch to Derek Bender. Comes in on him. He dodges out of the way and takes ball 1. Coastal Carolina Chanticleer. Derek Bender also having quite a year. This Bourne team can hit. 1-0 pitch on the way. Way up high. Chin Music. He twirls away from it and will take a second to collect himself. It's 2 balls and no strikes to Bender, the .397 hitter on the season, who has blasted 4 home runs and driven in 21 runs for the Braves. The 2-0 deal. Hit on a line out towards center field. Apodaca racing back at the warning track, reaches up and makes the catch. And that ends the inning. 6 up, 6 down through 1 inning of play. We are scoreless between the Bourne Braves and the YD Red Sox. Back in a moment. You're listening to YD Baseball on the Cape League Broadcast Network. Taking us to the top of the second inning here from Doran Park. Luke Westpoli and Perry Keatseye with you on this
Now
Friday
batting, the right
evening.
fielder from
Braden
Stanford
Montgomery
University,
leads off
number
for
15,
YD in a
Braden
game that is
Montgomery.
yet to see its first base runner. We're scoreless. Both teams going 1-2-3 in the first. Montgomery facing Bryce Cunningham, who got a strikeout and 2 flyouts. He winds, kicks, and throws. And the pitch is outside. 4-1 to the switch hitter batting left, Braden Montgomery. 7 for his first 25, recent addition to the roster in the portal out of Stanford. 1-0 pitch. Fastball misses below the zone. 2 balls, no strikes.
This morning, my dad sent me an article from ESPN Plus about the top MLB prospects for 2024, and Montgomery was listed at number 7.
2-0, he checks swings. The pitch finds the outer half of the zone. 2 balls and a strike.
It broke down his ability as a two-way player, as a switch hitter, and just called him a natural athlete. It's why he's up there at the top of the class.
2-1 pitch is a breaking ball outside. 3-1.
Some other names that got some honorable mentions were Hines and Paxton Kling.
Couple of SEC guys. Who knows where Montgomery may end up next year. Could be there. 3-1. He crushes this one out towards left center field. Harrelson going back at the wall. He makes the catch on the run. Another barrel. YD has caught a few of those today, but all of them have found gloves, and the first 4 men in the game retired for the Red Sox. Looking to change that will be the DH Hunter Hines.
44, Hunter Hines.
Base is empty, 1 away in a scoreless game. Hines batting left out of Mississippi State. trying to compete as the first pitch comes in, and he takes in the dirt for ball one for a potential run at the MVP. His average has been lowered as of recently down to 240, but still leading the league home runs with 10 and 37 RBIs. 1-0. Finds the bottom of the zone. Nice frame by Bodine. It's a ball and a strike. Wind blowing strongly out towards left center field. It's been gusting throughout the day. 1-1 pitch to Hines. On the inner corner, strike two. That's been a location that Cunningham has hammered away at through these first 5 batters.
It's really tough when it comes in at the knees, breaking downwards. So tough to wrap your barrel around it.
1-2 is flared away. Out of play and foul as Hines stays alive, seeing another at 1-2. Bases are empty for the Mississippi State Bulldog. Brady Day awaiting in the on-deck circle for YD. 1-2 pitch. Sinks down low, bouncing on home plate. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Hines.
Hunter Hines out of Mississippi State just finished his sophomore year.
2-2 pitch. And he hits this one way out towards right field. Diggs going back at the wall, and he makes the catch on the warning track. Another one just narrowly missed. Hunter Hines hits it to the deepest part he could in right. And
Now
it's
batting,
caught at the
the
wall
second
for the
baseman from
second
Kansas
out of
State
the inning.
University,
Bases
number
are
10,
empty.
Brady
Still
Day.
scoreless for Brady Day. 2 gone.
Off the bat, I was convinced that was gone by a mile, and it just died up there in the air. This wind is blowing heavily out to the left, but in the right, it's not helping him out.
First pitch today, he squares to bunt and bunts it foul. Hopper behind home. He will come back and face an 0-1 count. Brady Day had the only hit for YD a couple of days ago in the lopsided loss to the Hyannis Harbor Hawks at Dunkin' Donuts Park. He blasted a ball into right field pretty far up the fence that went for a double. 0-1. Fastball at the top of the zone for called strike 2. Nothing in 2 to Brady Day. The pitch. Breaking ball in. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Day was the Red Sox highest draft pick of the season in round 12 by the Atlanta Braves, but he declined to sign.
1-2 reaches for it and lines it right side, base hit. Past the diving effort from Garrett Michelle and into right. The Red Sox have their first base runner, as does this game. It is Brady Day with a 2-out single in the second. That'll extend the inning for Xander Darby.
Once again, first guy on base from a hit
Now
for the
batting,
Red
the
Sox.
first
Second
baseman
game in
from
a
the
row.
University of
Day will
California,
be
Santa Barbara,
returning
number
to
12,
Kansas
Xander
State.
Darby.
His college, trying to up his ranking in the draft, so to speak.
So a runner on first. First time we'll see Cunningham out of the stretch to Xander Darby, righty on lefty. First pitch. Low and in for ball 1.
It was just a few games ago at, was it Chatham or Brewster, where Darby hit a home run. Actually, I think it was neither.
1-0. Called strike in the inner half of the zone. 1-1.
Orleans, that's what it was. A couple of games ago where Darby absolutely hammered one out to right center field.
Second game of the win streak for YD. Darby has shown some tremendous power over this last week. He's got 3 home runs on the year. 1-1. Swinging a foul tip into the glove of Bodine behind the plate, and it's a 1-2 count to Xander Darby. No score between the Red Sox and the Braves. Runner on first, 1-2 count with 2 outs in the top of the second inning. Hanging the right arm. A look over at first from Cunningham. Now he sets at the belt. Nods and deals. Runner goes. This one lined into right field. That's a base hit. Day will motor around second and head towards third. The throw is not in time. He's in safely with a slide. A single by Xander Darby on 2 strikes. The run and hit. And they're on the corners with 2 gone for YD. Ryan Jackson looking to produce the 2-out RBI.
To shortstop from the
It was a
University of Southern
perfectly
California,
executed hit and
number
run.
6,
Xander Darby
Ryan
went after
Jackson.
one that was high up in the zone. He really likes those, puts him on a line consistently as he did there to right field. And since Day got that head start, had plenty of time to get around second and safely into third.
We have seen throughout the season that Darby has done well when the ball has been elevated and away from him. He can get his hands to it and get pretty good contact, even though the pitch wouldn't be a strike. First pitch to Ryan Jackson is a breaking ball at the shoulders. 1 ball and no strikes to the USC Trojan, playing at short today for YD. We've seen him play both at short and at second for the Red Sox. Right on right with runners on the corners, 2 away. 1 step lead on first from Darby, the 1-0 pitch. Called a strike on the outer corner, perfectly placed there by Cunningham. 1-1 the count to Jackson. We've seen Xander Darby run a few times this season for YD, but he has not been tremendously successful, as he has been caught stealing 5 times, more than anyone else on this team. 1-1. Slider on the outer half, called strike 2. Shake it ahead for Ryan Jackson, but he will climb back in at a 2-strike count. This is the count where we saw Brady Day take off during the last at-bat. Theo Hardy on deck for YD. They're on the corners with 2 outs, no score, and a 1-2 count to Ryan Jackson. Throw over to first made by Cunningham.
Jackson was another guy that was heating up before that game on Wednesday. He was on a 6-game hit streak. 4 of those were multi-hit games. Looking to return to those ways here at Doran Park.
.333 hitter on the year with 5 driven in. Runner goes, 1-2, swinging a foul tip into the glove, strike 3, and that retires the side. So the Red Sox get a pair of 2-out hits from Brady Day and Xander Darby, but fail to score in the second. It remains donuts on the board, 0-0 between YD and Bourne, headed to the home half. Stay tuned. You're listening to Red Sox Baseball on the Cape League Broadcast Network. Home half of the second inning here from Doran Park. Luke Westpoli and Perry Keatsai on hand. 4-5-6 coming up for the Bourne Braves. 0-0 our score between YD and Bourne. Red Sox got some 2-out hitting.
Coastal Carolina, number 45.
Brady Day and Xander
Bodine.
Darby, but failed to score. Caden Bodine, the catcher, leads off. And will face off against Finnegan Wall. First pitch to Bodine. Breaking ball slides off the plate, 1-0. Bodine hitting .373. Tons of guys in this Bourne lineup with averages over 300. The 1-0 pitch off the plate, 2-0. Normally would wait until deeper into the broadcast to do any sort of scoreboard watch, but it is worth mentioning that the league-leading Katuitt Kettleers are trailing the Falmouth Commodores right now. The 2-0 comes in. Outside, ball 3. In the bottom of the 5th inning from Lowell Park, it's 21-1. Falmouth in front.
21-1.
21-1, 3 touchdowns. 3-0 pitch. Hit in the air, shallow left field. Austin loses the hat racing. After it, it drops in for a base hit. Caden Bodine's got the single that starts off the offense for Bourne, and there's a man on first for Kendall Diggs. 21-1 over the best team in the league is the score, with Falmouth leading
University of
Katuitt.
Arkansas, number 8.
On the road
Kendall
as well.
Diggs.
I have to say, that was unexpected. Took me by surprise.
I will say, though, that despite the dominance the Kettleers have shown throughout the season, they have suffered an abnormal amount of lopsided losses considering how much better they've been than the rest of the league so far. First pitch comes in and misses inside for ball 1 to Kendall Diggs.
Hyannis has been really tracking them down, though, making it a competition. I think at the midpoint of the season, we thought Katuitt was going to run away with it, and the competition has increased, definitely, in the West Division.
Throw over made by Finnegan Wall. Count is 1-0. Yeah, it really looked like at midseason that Katuitt was just going to cruise towards the end of the year. Hyannis now sits just 5 points behind them. 1-0. Breaking ball finds the inner half of the zone. It's a ball and a strike. Katuitt and Hyannis have both clinched, but the Harbor Hawks division title hopes, just 5 points behind the Kettleers, are still alive.
This is YD's first time seeing Kendall Diggs out of Arkansas.
1-1 pitch. Hit pretty well out towards left field. Austin makes the last-second adjustment back at the wall, and he makes the catch. Runner retreats to first base. That ball carried, was definitely wind-aided as a strong gust came through right as it was hit. But it did not carry out of here, 330 feet down the line here in Doran Park.
Peterson.
One away for Sam Peterson, still a runner on first and no score. It's been a while since YD has seen Bourne. They've seen every other team in the Cape League since they have seen the Braves. That was 3 weeks ago, the last time these two met. Wall with a throw over to first, slightly close, but Bodine back with a slide.
I was surprised to see so few lineup changes. Only one addition to the Bourne lineup that was not in the active roster the last time these two teams faced 3 weeks ago.
Another throw over by Wall. It's been a little bit of pitching turnover, but not too much, and the offense has stayed pretty stagnant, and no real reason to change things if you're this coaching staff. As long as the guys want to stay, they've been producing. First pitch on the way. Hit to the opposite field, hammered out towards right. Montgomery coming in on it from the track, and he puts it away with two hands. That's the second out of the inning as the runner stays put on first. We're still scoreless as Garrett Michelle will come to the plate. We have seen
the first baseman from
a
Virginia Tech,
really high
19,
number of fly balls to the deep outfield here, considering that none of them have gotten out or dropped.
I think we'll absolutely see a home run today, if not a number of them. And both of these teams certainly have enough power bats in the lineup to make it interesting as long as they're making that barrel contact.
Right on left to Garrett Michelle. Wall kicks and deals. And it's pushed foul to the opposite side out of play. No balls and a strike. Michelle, the 225 hitter, yet to record a hit against Finnegan Wall. Virginia Tech Hokie. Waving the bat in the lefty box. Wall throws over. It's pretty close, but Bodine does get back.
Wall's been keeping Bodine on his toes over there. Really a couple of close calls. I feel like the majority of pickoffs we see, there's not a competitive tag put in play, but all of these have been competitive tag plays.
0-1, misses down low, ball on a strike, and it's not close for the fact that there's a huge lead being taken by Bodine on first. He's not really getting that far off the bag, but it's so snappy from Finnegan Wall that he is making the umpire on first think for a second before making the call. 1-1 the count to Michelle. Pitch. Sails up high, a check swing. And Ryan Stafford wants an appeal. He'll get it out to the base umpire, but he agrees with home plate, says no swing from Garrett Michelle. He's now ahead 2-1. Runner on first, two away. Brady Day backed up into shallow right with a shift in play to the lefty pull hitter. 2-1, fired home. Called strike on the outer corner. Michelle does not like it at all, but he will step back into a 2-2 count. That one just caught the edge and was starting to slide away from the plate. Well, just one strike away from getting out of the inning and keeping us scoreless in this one. 2-2 the count. And pitch. Breaking ball rolled over to first. Nice smother there by Darby, and he will trot it over to the bag and step on it himself to end the inning. Leadoff hit by Caden Bodine. He's stranded on first, and we are still scoreless from Doran Park. 0-0. You're listening to YD Baseball on the Cape League Broadcast Network as we head to the third. Front end of the third inning here from Doran Park, 0-0. Our score between YD
Now
and
batting,
Bourne.
the third
Nine-hitter
baseman
Theo
from San
Hardy
Jose
coming
State
up to the
University,
plate for the
number
Red
11,
Sox.
Theo Hardy.
He faces Bryce Cunningham, who was struck out 2, worked around 2 base runners in the last inning to keep the game scoreless. Vanderbilt on San Jose State quickly into the first pitch. Fastball framed up on the bottom part of the zone for strike 1. Theo Hardy has had a bit of a tough time in terms of luck finding holes. Hasn't struck out a lot, but just 2 for 33 this season. 0-1. Takes outside on a pitch sweeping off the plate. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Just 2 for 33 through his first 10 games.
1-1. He squares to bunt, and the pitch finds the zone. It's a ball and 2 strikes.
He does have 3 sacrifice hits and 1 sacrifice bunt, however, so he has been productive up there somewhat.
1-2 drops low. 2 balls, 2 strikes. He's getting the ball in play. He's being competitive. It's just a matter of when things are going to start to trickle through and the bounces are going to go his way, you feel like. 2-2 the count and pitch. Breaking ball just underneath the zone. A tough take by Hardy, but he holds up to fill the count. Some jeers from the Bourne dugout to the home plate umpire. The payoff to Hardy. Check swing, called strike 3. Hardy still running over to first, and now he will make his way back to the dugout. That's the 3rd strikeout for Bryce Cunningham, his first time through the YD order. Now back to the top. Enzo Apodaca flew out to right field his first time. Base is empty, 1 away. Pitch on the way. Off the plate, 1 ball and no strikes to Apodaca. Average has fluctuated around the 300 mark, has been over it for a few games, back under it at 287, 1-0. Breaking ball down and in, 2 balls, no strikes. Cunningham has thrown 43 pitches through 2 1/3. YD's been somewhat competitive in their at-bats against him, 2-0. Apodaca with a sword swing. He goes around on a pitch that ran way in on him. 2 balls and a strike.
This is a very lefty-heavy lineup for YD, facing the lefty pitcher, and Cunningham has done a nice job placing it on the inside half.
2-1 is cracked foul out of play on the left side.
And though it's hard to tell from our angle on these balls that do run inside, it looks like that strike zone is pretty strict over the plate. Not a lot of those inside have been called when they're taken.
2-2, just under the zone. A check swing from Apodaca, but there is no appeal. And another tough take at 2-2 for the 2nd straight at bat. And now Apodaca has run the count full. Quickly, the payoff. Ball 4. Down in the dirt, Apodaca takes it. That's the first free pass Bryce Cunningham has issued. Comes to the man at the top of the order for the Red Sox. 1 out and a man on first now for Ryan Stafford, trying to break this scoreless tie in the top of the 3rd.
Cal Poly Slow, number 7, Ryan Stafford.
Stafford K'd on 3 pitches his first time up. And you think back to it, Cunningham really challenged him. 3 fastballs over the plate. Small lead from Apodaca on first. First pitch to Stafford is spiked, bounces up and gets away, trickling behind Bodine. Apodaca will get from first to second. He'll take a round, but he will be content with earning the base at second and stay there. Runner moves up into scoring position for YD. First time they've had a runner in scoring position with less than 2 outs. They had a couple of 2-out hits in the last inning, but the rally was clipped after Ryan Jackson struck out swinging. Now a chance for potentially a couple of batters to come to the plate and try to knock in Apodaca. 1-0, the count to Ryan Stafford. Third base comes in. Next pitch, hit on the ground, right side. That sneaks through into right for a base hit. Apodaca racing around third. He will score standing up as the throw comes into second, and the Red Sox have struck first. In the top of the 3rd inning, it's an RBI single for Ryan Stafford, his 7th of the year, 1-0 YD.
We were waiting for that from Stafford. He had a
now batting,
long hit streak at 5 games coming into
9,
Wednesday. It was broken
Austin.
then, but he's been really consistent since coming back from his trip to Team USA. He left for a couple of weeks with the collegiate national team, and since his return has been absolutely on fire, putting bat to ball, mostly singles for Stafford, but he's really done a nice job, especially with his teammates on base.
First pitch to R.J. Austin. Runner bluffs. Breaking ball cut on and missed for strike 1. Stafford will likely see that average get up near 300. He brought it up significantly, as like you mentioned, was screaming hot coming back from Team USA camp. Austin 0 for 1. Runner on first, one away. Vandy on Vandy, 0-1. Slides away, threw him a similar pitch, and this time Austin doesn't bite. It's a ball and a strike.
That's Stafford's 7th RBI of the season. That's up there with the top of the team. I mean, Hines blows away the competition with 37. Darby has 13. Austin has 9, and now lies Stafford with 7.
Runner goes, pitches spiked, still a good throw down to second, and it is not in time, though. Stafford slides around it on the back end of the bag. Pitch was down low, and Austin laid off for ball 2. It's a 2-1 count, and now another man into scoring position. That's a stolen base for the YD catcher in Ryan Stafford. That is his 3rd stolen base of the year, and has now stolen more bases than times he's been caught. He is a 60% base stealer. 2-1 to Austin. The pitch. Slider down, smothered in the dirt by Bodine. And it's 3-1 to RJ.
Cunningham got him on the slider for that first swing. He was way ahead of it since then. However, Austin's been laying off, and 2 of them have bounced in that exact same spot as the first pitch.
Cunningham is predominantly fastball, throws it around 65% of the time. First time through the order, it looked like more than 60%. 3-1 the count to Austin. Couple looks at second, now the pitch. Lifted up into the shallow outfield and left, racing in on it. Peterson called off by the shortstop, Kuroda Grauer, makes the catch while falling backward and fires it back in, with Stafford holding on second base. That's the second out of the inning. Frantic play there, but Kuroda Grauer was much closer to it than Sam Peterson was in left.
15, Braden Montgomery.
So 2 away in a 1-0 game. YD out in front. And the RBI man, Ryan Stafford, standing on second as the only base runner. 2 gone for the switch hitter, Braden Montgomery, batting left for the second time in as many innings against Bryce Cunningham. First pitch to Montgomery, breaks down low, nearly hit him on the foot, but will just bounce in for ball 1. Top of the 3rd inning here from Doran Park as YD looks to split the series of games between these two squads here in Bourne. Dropped their first game here about a month ago. 1-0 pitch. Swinging a foul tip. Ticks out of the glove of Caden Bodine, but does not matter. That's the first strike of the at-bat. It's now 1-1.
YD did take both of their contests against Bourne at home, looking to win the series outright here tonight.
1-1 pitch. Breaking ball hammered over towards second. It's past the second baseman, Jonathan Vastine, and into right center. Stafford will score. Montgomery digging for second. He slides in safely, and it's a 2-out RBI double for Braden Montgomery as YD doubles their lead. It's 2-0.
It's so rare that you see a ball that hits
Now
the
batting,
infield
the
dirt
designated
that
hitter
turns
from
into a
Mississippi State
double, but
University,
that's how hard
number
that was hit
44, Hunter
off
Hines.
of Montgomery's bat. Made it all the way through the gap. There was a long run out there for Diggs. And a really nice piece of 2-out hitting, and YD leads 2-0.
Hunter Hines going to try and keep the rally going. 2-0 Red Sox in the top of the 3rd. 2 away and a runner on second for the lefty out of Mississippi State. First pitch. Breaking ball hits the plate. Ball 1. Hines flew out to right all the way down the line next to the foul pole. Nearly muscled it out of the park, but came up just short in his first at bat. 10 deep flies for him on the season. Can add to his monumental 37 RBI total that leads the league and has already eclipsed last year's season-long leader. 1-0 pitch. Taken as a strike on the inner half of the zone. 1-1.
Head tilt from Hines, disagrees with that. Ran inside very close to his body, but clips that inside corner, according to our home plate umpire.
1-1 to Hines. The kick and deal. Fastball away. Hines checked his swing, and it's 2-1. Two balls, 1 strike to Hunter Hines. White cleats and gloves matching his white uniform. Ahead in the count. That's where he does his damage. The pitch. Drops down low, ball 3. And this is the count where we've seen him do the most this season. It's 3-1, and that will draw a visit out to the mound from Bourne catcher Caden Bodine. And now a quick jog out to the mound by the Bourne pitching coach, who calls for the rest of the infield to meet. 3 balls and a strike. The count to Hunter Hines. Cunningham has seen his pitch count be elevated significantly here in the 3rd inning, as he's now up to 61. YD with 4 hits. They've plated 2 runs, both in this inning, as they lead 2-0.
Even after that first inning when YD made contact but didn't get on base, it felt promising because they were seeing enough of Cunningham and getting enough of the bat to the ball. And now, second time through the lineup, they're seeing it much better. They're sneaking it through the gaps and getting full contact around it.
So the meeting on the mound breaks up. See if Hines can sit fastball at 3-1. Right on left, Hines leaning back with his weight behind his waist in the lefty box. From the stretch, the pitch. Swing and a miss. It was a breaking ball that Cunningham threw, and Hines swung over the top of it. And the count is full with 2 outs. Braden Montgomery on second. Jonathan Bastine playing at second base with his heels in the outfield grass. Runner goes, payoff pitch, swinging a foul tip. Beaten straight into the ground by Hines. He'll stay alive at 3-2.
That second strike pitch was a really nice one from Cunningham because he left the breaking ball right over the heart of the plate. So to Hines, it looks like one you want to go for, the home run ball, and instead drops right below the bat to run that count full.
So 3-2 to Hines once again. From the belt. The kick and pitch. And he takes ball 4 down low. Breaking ball in the dirt, and Hines lays off. That extends the inning for Brady Day, who has singled already in this game. First and second with 2 gone, as YD looks to add to a 2-0 lead in the top of the 3rd.
Number 10, Brady Day.
Perhaps the most tense at-bat of the game we just witnessed between Cunningham and Hines. Felt like we might see a momentum type of play as the crowd awaited a result. Instead, we get a bit of an anticlimactic walk. And now the first pitch to Brady Day. Called a strike in the inner half of the zone, 0-1. Knee high, that pitch had some late life to it that yanked it right onto the corner. 0-1 count today. A knee lift and a throw back to the shortstop Joshua Kuroda Grauer by Bryce Cunningham.
He's really done a nice job locating on that inside corner, and it's not easy to do with so many lefties in the box with the fear of hitting them, but
0-1 grounded left side. That's a base hit. Montgomery's going to round third and try to score, and it will be eaten up in left field by Peterson. Montgomery comes in standing up as the throw goes to third. An RBI single by Brady Day. He's 2 for 2. And the Red Sox add on another. It's 3-0 YD, still with 2 outs.
how about that from Brady Day? 2 for 2 on the day.
Now
YD
batting, the first
adds
baseman from the
another.
University
They're
of
up
California, Santa
3-0.
Barbara, number 12,
Brady Day
Xander
has
Darby.
become the guy to go to in the lineup when YD needs to get something going.
Xander Darby, the 8th man to come to the plate in this inning for YD. They've got first and second, 2 away in the top of the 3rd, leading 3-0 with all their runs coming in this frame. Right on left, still out of the stretch. Cunningham looks back at second, kicks and throws. Pitches a strike on the low part of the zone, 0-1, knee high. Some moans and groans from the YD dugout, but Xander Darby will step back in. He is 1 for 1 with a single on a well-executed hit and run that came in the last inning, but YD failed to take advantage as they stranded runners on the corners. 0-1 pitch. Low and in, 1 ball, 1 strike to Darby. Came in with the average at .290. Has been one of YD's best contact hitters over the last couple of weeks after a bit of a slow start where he was batting under 200 for a good ways. 1-1 pitch. Breaking ball bounced down low. Bodine has it between his legs and will scoop it back up with runners staying put on first and second. 2 balls and a strike to Xander Darby. Steps back in, working from the back of the lefty box.
13 runs batted in for Darby already. He has Hines in scoring position on second.
2 away with YD having runners on first and second. 2-1 pitch. Swing and a off the end of the bat foul ball on the left side. That's grounded into the Bourne dugout. 2-2 to Darby. Pitch count is up to 70 for Bryce Cunningham. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Here comes pitch 71. The deal, way up high. Eye level and in the other batter's box for Xander Darby was not challenged, and that'll make the count 3-2.
YD is running Cunningham out of this game. I doubt we'll even see him in the fourth. They put up 3 already through 2 1/3. 71 total pitches. Really high number.
3-2 with 2 outs. Runners will take off with the pitch. Here's the payoff. Swing and a high fly out towards right center field. Moseying over on it. Harrelson into the gap, makes the catch, and that ends the inning. But YD takes the first lead of this one. They're on top 3-0 as we head to the home half. Finnegan Wall will retake the bump with a lead. Stay tuned. You're listening to Red Sox Baseball on the Cape League Broadcast Network. Three 0 Red Sox. Our score as YD takes the first lead of the game in the top of the third inning. Now headed to the bottom half.
Number 13,
Joshua Kuroda Grauer, the 8-hitter, leads off with Finnegan Wall just 1 above the minimum. He winds, kicks, and throws the first pitch. Fastball right over the plate for strike 1. Luke Westpoley with Perry Keatside tonight, as always, on this Friday evening, approaching 7 o'clock local time on a very pleasant night by the bridge on Cape Cod. 0-1. Off the end of the bat, right up the middle. That's a base hit. Kuroda Grauer goes right back where it came from and lines a single into center. The Rutgers Scarlet Knight aboard, second base runner for the Braves. And that brings up their 9-hitter Gage Harrelson as they look to make their way back into this one.
Gage Harrelson.
Shade beginning to wrap around the edges of Doran Park, but most of the field still in the sun. They do have lights here as at our late 6 o'clock start time. Wall from the stretch. First pitch is outside, ball 1.
Harrelson batting .254 coming into today through 22 games with the Bourne Braves. Plays at Texas Tech.
Batting 1,000 against Finnegan Wall this year. Runner on first, nobody out. 1-0 the count. A quick snap throw to first by Wall as the runner is back in time. We saw him throw over a lot over the course of 3 batters to Caden Bodine, who hit a single before being stranded as the next 3 men were retired, but there were multiple instances in which Wall nearly had him picked off. 1-0 pitch, down low. Stafford quickly up to his feet as if he would throw to first, and Kuroda Grauer is scared back to the bag, but there is no throw. 2 balls, no strikes to Harrelson.
Good reason to be scared. Kuroda Grauer has 9 stolen bases on the season for the Braves.
Weight directly over the center of his body. The 2-0 is pushed foul into the screen. 2 balls and a strike. Kuroda Grauer with a decent-sized lead, but was not leaning towards second base during that last pitch. 2-1 the count to Harrelson. YD has their third baseman, Theo Hardy, playing up on the grass over at first. Xander Darby covering the bag. 2-1 pitch is lined over towards second. The catch is made, and now the throw behind the runner is not in time. Beg your pardon, that was a liner too short that Ryan Jackson made the catch on. So used to seeing him over there at second base, but he's at short today. One away now for the top of the
Now
order.
batting,
Bryce
the
Eblin,
third baseman from the University of Alabama, number 9.
runner
Bryce
on first
Eblin.
for the left-handed hitter out of Alabama.
Well done from Jackson to get that in the air. It was headed pretty much on a line towards him, but below the shins, and he made a nice adjustment. Josh Grauer, quick reflexes as well, heading back to the bag.
First pitch is outside for ball 1. Ball grunting as he throws. He's up to 31 pitches, but significantly lower than his counterpart, Bryce Cunningham for Bourne, who eclipsed the 70 mark when the top of the third inning came to an end. We may or may not see him for the fourth. There's a lefty up and warming in the Bourne bullpen as Wall throws over to first, and another slide back safely by Kuroda Grauer. 1 ball and no strikes to Bryce Eblin. Still looking for his first hit against Finnegan Wall. The kick and the pitch. Crushed high in the air, foul ground on the left side. That one slices out of play. 1 ball and 1 strike to Eblin now. Bourne with the Redshirt Friday jerseys on this evening. White bottoms for the Braves, defending champions of the Cape Cod Baseball League. As these two teams meet for the final time in the regular season. 1-1 pitch. Breaking ball finds the low part of the zone for strike 2. At the knees to Eblin, who was a strikeout victim his first time. That was the only strikeout Finnegan Wall dealt out his first time through the order, as now he's back at the top for trip number 2 around. Eblin faces a 1-2 count. Whirling the bat. Runner taking off, and Wall throws behind him, but sliding back safely, Kuroda Grauer. He took off, but it wasn't really a full-speed run, more so a shuffle towards second base as he took about 4 steps off the bag and was yet to shift his hips and start running, and then turned around right before Wall did and was able to get back. So he stays on first. 1-2 the count to Eblin. The pitch. Foul tipped straight back. Into the screen it goes. 1-2 still to count.
There were calls from the Bourne dugout balk. I think that's maybe what Kuroda Grauer saw. He was trying to get the jump on Wall, saw him going into the motion, but Wall hadn't actually started yet. That's what caused the confusion.
1 ball and 2 strikes. Man on first and 1 away in the bottom of the third. Runner goes. The pitch is down low and in. Called strike 3, actually, as the throw down to second is in time. What a frame and what a throw by Ryan Stafford. It's a strike him out, throw him out, and that ends the third inning. Finnegan Wall faces the minimum. He's just 1 above it now through 3. And the Red Sox lead it 3-0. All the momentum going YD's way right now as we head to the middle innings. Stay tuned. You're listening to Red Sox Baseball on the Cape League Broadcast Network.
From the University of Southern California, number 6, Ryan Jackson.
Top of the fourth at Doran Park, and Ryan Jackson leads off for the Red Sox. He's 0 for 1 with a caught foul tip from Caden Bodine behind the plate, stepping into that right-handed box, facing a new pitcher on the mound. It's Anthony Figueroa. And he deals a first pitch strike, ripped up the third baseline by Jackson, but just sneaks foul. That would have gone for extra bases, absolutely. Instead, count moves to 0-1.
Yeah, he got all of that. That was ripped by Jackson, but going to the pull side, sometimes it's tough to tuck that ball in fair territory.
Figueroa takes a long time, now nods, kicks and fires. Outside, bounces away from Bodine. 4-1. 1-1 to Jackson after YD put up 3 in the third. They moved Bryce Cunningham, the Vanderbilt starter, all-star, who's had a fantastic season. He was out in 3 innings, probably thanks to that pitch count as ball 2 runs inside on Jackson. He's ahead 2-1 with Theo Hardy on deck. YD has made their way quickly through the lineup the second time and will turn it over to the top in this inning. The pitch on the way, runs inside again, ball 3.
Yeah, YD ran up the pitch count and also scored more earned runs against Bryce Cunningham with 3 than he's allowed all season.
Figueroa will be transferring to Nova Southeastern. The 3-1, a chopped foul again towards that third baseline this time. More foul than before, and the count runs full on 2 foul balls from Jackson. Jackson crushed his first home run of the season at Orleans. Other than that, just singles all over the board, no other extra base hits. For the middle infielder out of the University of Southern California, he sweeps it below his knees a couple of times, now set with the bat swinging upright in the box. Figueroa fires, ball 4, bounces in the dirt. Nice take from Jackson on the breaking ball, and YD has a leadoff runner aboard for the first time today. That will bring up
Now
Theo
batting,
Hardy
the third baseman from San
in
Jose
the
State
9-hole, who
University,
is 0
number
for
11,
1. He was
Theo
rung up.
Hardy.
It was an interesting end to the at-bat. He ran the count full. He checked his swing on that last pitch and started jogging down the line with the swing still checked. It was called a strike 3. He thought it was ball 4 until first base coach Camp Trudel told him to head back to that dugout. Figueroa fires the first pitch, lined into left field, just sneaks over the glove of Kuroda Grauer. Jackson will hold up on second, but finally, seems like Hardy hasn't gotten anything to go his way, and that one just high enough to sneak over the infield.
Yeah, good for Theo Hardy. It feels like every time we've seen him hit a ball
Now
like
batting,
that,
the center
there's been
fielder
a
from Gonzaga
ridiculous
University,
leaping
number 3,
catch
Enzo
made by
Apodaca.
an infielder. That time that just was too high for Kuroda Grauer, and good for Hardy to get a good piece of that ball on the barrel and come away with a base hit.
Brings up Enzo Apodaca, who is a big part of running Bryce Cunningham out of the game. He walked his last time around on a number of pitches and a long at-bat. 2 runners on, nobody out in a 3-0 game. Pitch on the way, bunt is squared. Comes over Apodaca's head because he squared the bunt and crouched so low. It's called strike 1.
It's a good pitch. If you know that the bunt is coming, that is nearly impossible. That breaking ball high and tight that just falls into the upper part of the zone. Not really going to get a good bunt on that if you try.
The runners take their leads. Apodaca already squared to bunt. Pitch on the way, popped up and drops foul off the bounce. Bounced in fair territory once, then hopped over the line, and Apodaca's down to an 0-2 count.
Figueroa's pitch that he's thrown to Apodaca just has so much movement on it that you can see Apodaca is having trouble even tracking it with just trying to bunt. I couldn't imagine trying to swing against it, but even just trying to get his barrel on that ball with the amount of movement that it has been troublesome in this at-bat.
And he had it squared away the whole time. He knew Coach Pickler wanted to lay down the bunt. 2 on, nobody out still, and the count's 0-2 to Apodaca. He'll be forced to swing away. Figueroa fires, and it's ripped towards the gap in left center. Coming over on it, Harrelson makes the grab, and the runners are held up. That's out number 1. So at the end, Apodaca is
Now
gone
batting,
on
the
to
catcher from Cal
3
Poly
pitches.
Slow, number 7.
Brings up Ryan Stafford, who's 1 for 2. He got the scoring going. The first RBI of the day. He went down swinging his first time around. The catcher out of Cal Poly San Luis Obispo. It's a mouthful. One of many California guys on this team. Coach Pickler coaches out there in California, recruits a lot of guys from the West Coast. First pitch drops in, and the curve is in the dirt for ball 1. RJ Austin on deck in that 3-hole. So not used to seeing him down in the lineup. But seems that the lineup changes for Coach Pickler have been working well today. Runners on first and second. The 1-0 on the way. Pushed foul towards the stands and just gets into the grassy steps where the spectators are camped out. A ball and a strike now with 1 gone to Stafford. He tosses his elbow guard out of the way, doesn't want it anymore. Austin picks it up in the on-deck circle. Now Stafford's back with the white gloves shining in the sunlight as the sun is setting on a cloudless day. It's hot in the sun and beautiful in the shade. Figueroa fires the 1-1, and it hits him where he just took off his elbow guard. How about that? For irony, and the bases are loaded for RJ Austin.
Baseball has a feel for that sometimes. There's always
the left
the
fielder from Vanderbilt University, number
old
9,
saying
RJ Austin.
if you're going to get subbed into a game on defense, usually the first batter that comes up to the plate hits the ball to you. I guess that also applies if you get rid of some protective gear, that the ball is going to find it on the very next pitch. Stafford looks to be okay, which is a good sign.
Bases loaded, 1 gone. YD leads 3-0, and Austin is set in the righty box his first time facing Figueroa. Runners have their leads. First pitch on the way, spiked in the dirt, nicely blocked down by Bodine for ball 1. Austin's 0 for 2 today with 2 flyouts. He's just been under it when he was facing Cunningham, his college teammate. Cunningham came at him with the breaking balls, and Austin popped them both up. Figueroa kicks, deals on the ground, up the first baseline, sneaks through into right field. 1 comes around to score. Hardy's being waved around by Pickler, and he comes in standing up. The throw onto second does not come as Michelle pump fakes, but eats it. And RJ Austin hits an RBI single that scores 2, a 2 RBI single for Austin. He gets his first hit of the day, and YD breaks it open. They lead 5-0.
That's a very prototypical RJ Austin hit
Now batting, the right
to the
fielder from
opposite
Stanford
field,
University,
and
number 15,
just finds a
Braden
gap.
Montgomery.
Just bounced it up the first base line, got it out of the reach of Garrett Michelle. Soft enough hit to score 2, and now 2 in scoring position for Montgomery.
Austin advanced to second on the throw from Diggs into Michelle. First pitch on the way to Braden Montgomery. Drops in for strike 1. He's batting on the righty side for the first time today, playing the splits against the lefty pitcher. Montgomery is 1 for 2 with a double and a deep fly. The wind has died down a bit, but still blowing out towards left center. The 0-1 popped up and foul behind our heads as the count moves to 0-2 with runners on second and third.
Just a slight off-topic aside, Falmouth has added a field goal against Kitsuit, and they now lead 24-1.
When you're talking about a baseball score in terms of football scores, that is never a good sign. At least for one team. The 0-2 on the way at the shoulders, nicely checked by Montgomery. Doesn't go for it. Ball 1. Little movement in the shoulders, but he held up. Fastball ripped at the top of the zone, but just above it. 1-2 with 1 out. YD leads 5-0 in the top of the 4th. These last 2 half innings for YD have been well extended. Pitch on the way, flies outside. 2 balls, 2 strikes to the righty who played 2 years at Stanford and is currently in the transfer portal. Former Pac-12 Freshman of the Year. Recently a first-team All-Pac-12 selection. The 2-2 comes in, crushed out towards left center, heading back to the wall. And it's out of here. Gage Harrelson dove over the fence and landed on the other side as Braden Montgomery hits it out to almost the deepest part of the ballpark, and it's a 3-run blast for Montgomery's first home run as a member of the YD Red Sox. He has been phenomenal, and he plates 3 for the Red Sox. They lead 8-0.
Oh my goodness, that was a
Now
moonshot
batting,
for all
the designated hitter
moonshots.
from Mississippi State University.
That's
number
one of
44,
the most
Hunter
beautiful
Hines.
home runs I think we've seen all season, maybe with the exception of the grand slam from this guy at the plate, Hunter Hines.
First pitch on the way, he goes after it at the top of the zone. Nothing to lose, bases empty, still just 1 out. I couldn't see what was happening because Gage Harrelson, to his credit, put his body on the line for his team. He dove stomach first into the fence and fell over. He actually had the ball in his glove at one point as Hines cracks this one into foul territory. He'll go all the way out to the fence almost and drop there. 0-2 to Hines.
But, I mean, we knew that power was there. It was only a matter of time for Braden Montgomery. He's seen it in college at Stanford. We've seen it with Team USA. He's just a tremendous athlete, and watching him take batting practice is very fun. That was a batting practice type of home run, muscling it out like that.
The 0-2 to Hines. Check swing on the breaking ball. They say he went across at third. Hines has been plagued with that all season, and some of them have been really, really close calls, but he's been rung up at least 3 times on those appeals to third.
Now batting, the second baseman from Kansas State University.
And it's
number
really
10,
just
Brady Day.
such a coincidence that it's always him at the plate. I'm not really sure, but that is absolutely something that he has been on the losing end of. That's the second out in the inning as strike 1 comes in at the shoulders to Brady Day, who's 2 for 2 today with 2 singles. Bases are empty. YD leads 8-0. Figueroa fires. The breaking ball just drops in at the last second to the top of the zone. 0-2. Figueroa shakes one off. The infield shifted towards the pull side. The 0-2 on the way, just pushed foul at the last minute from Day as it was dropping into the bottom of the zone, and he stays alive as the count stays at 0-2. Looking up on the scoreboard, seeing 8 runs off 8 hits from YD. Last time here, they had 8 errors in the column. Day golfs it and pops it up foul at the last second. And out of play, count still at 0-2. 5th pitch now of the at-bat is what we're waiting on.
It's refreshing, isn't it, too, to see 8 runs, 8 hits after what we saw a couple of days ago. Good to see that. At least we've seen it reaffirmed that this team still has it.
Another 0-2, swung on and missed, dropped in the zone. And Day goes down on strikes, but YD strikes for 5 in the top of the 4th, and we head to the home half when we come back on the Cape League Broadcast Network.
Time.
Jonathan Vastine leads off for Bourne. Still facing Finnegan Wall, who deals a first pitch. Bounced on the one hop to Brady Day, nicely picked out. And that's one pitch, one gone. Had the capacity to sneak under the glove. Day, instead of taking it on the line, let it bounce once. And tosses it over to
Now batting,
Darby
the
at
designated hitter
first.
from Coastal
So
Carolina,
Vastine
number
goes
44,
down.
Derek Bender.
That brings up Derek Bender, who has been out the last few games with injury, making his return to the lineup today. First pitch from Wall, hit well out towards deep center field. Apodaca back on it at the warning track, makes the grab. 2 pitches, 2 outs. Finnegan Wall making quick work of the Braves in the 4th inning.
See if you can steal a strike here. You're probably going to get still nobody out of the dugout, and now there is Caden Bodine's going to come up to the plate for Bourne. Probably going to take the first pitch as you've gone through the first 2 batters and 2 pitches. See if you
Now
can
batting, the catcher from
flip a
Coastal
breaking ball
Carolina,
in there
number
and
45,
steal a strike, get
Caden
ahead in this
Bodine.
at-bat.
Wall casually kicking some dirt around as he has kept YD's momentum going. What an outing so far. Through 4.5. It's on the ground on the first pitch and sneaks into the Hardy's glove as he gets it on the dive, and the throw is in time to first. How about that? It looked like it got underneath, but Theo Hardy lays out, and YD has a 3-pitch inning after they plated 5 in the top. You can't ask for anything better than that, and we head to the top of the 5th at Doran Park. Back
batting,
for the
the
top
first
of the
baseman
5th,
from the University of
YD
California,
back
Santa
like they
Barbara,
never
number 12,
left after a
Xander
3-pitch. Bottom of the 4th brings up the hottest team we've seen in a couple of games, as that 2-game losing streak. We didn't see any of this, but the offensive production that we've come to know and love has returned today at Doran Park as Xander Darby takes a first pitch strike on the inside half. A lefty on lefty battle as Anthony Figueroa is back out to the mound. Ryan Jackson on deck, pitch on the way, chopped foul towards the dugout as Darby goes down 0-2. Figueroa has been ahead in his last 3 counts, 0-2. And he's retired the last 2 he faced at the end of the 4th. peering through the sun now into the wind. 0-2 on the way. Chopped up the middle towards second. Vastine charges in. The throw from the sidearm slot is in time. Really nice play by the second baseman. He didn't miss a step. Xander Darby grounds out on the 4-3 putout to bring back Ryan Jackson.
Number 6, Ryan Jackson.
Fresh count for Ryan Jackson. He is 0 for 1 and reached on a walk. He has come around to score a run today. First pitch on the way, flies high at the head. 4-1, Theo Hardy on deck. He had a nice line drive in his last time around. Jackson back again. Figueroa nods. White pants, white cleats set at the belt. Nods again, now finally into the motion. Pitch on the way. Ripped up the middle off the top of Figueroa's glove, and that's a base hit for Ryan Jackson. YD batting up and down the lineup today, and Jackson starts things off. Another leadoff base runner, second inning in a row now for the Red Sox.
Now batting, the third baseman from
More
San
up the
Jose
middle
State
approach
University,
for YD.
number 11,
Another
Theo
ripped
Hardy.
line drive. See if Theo Hardy can get a multi-hit game for the first time. Already with a single in this one.
Every YD Red Sox in the order has reached base today. Only Hines and Apodaca are hitless as the first pitch comes in. Big swing and miss from Hardy. Throw down to first. But Jackson scampers back in time as Bodine was going for the back pick. Count moves to 0-1. The Red Sox are leading the Bourne Braves 8-0 away at Doran Park. Top of the fifth inning. Theo Hardy in the 9-hole at the plate as YD's about to flip it over to the top for the fourth time today. As ball one flies inside on Hardy, he takes and the count moves to 1-1. The field mostly in the shadows. It's 7:20 p.m. The sunset is coming later. There are lights here at Doran Park. This one will go into the night. The 1-1 flies at the head. Ball two, Hardy holds off. Jackson back at first. No movement from Bodine back over there. Evenly spaced infield, protecting particularly up the lines for Hardy. There's a lot of space through the 5-6 hole. The 2-1 flies in above Hardy's head. Second pitch in a row all the way up there, and Caden Bodine wants a word with his battery mate, Anthony Figueroa, as Hardy is ahead 3-1. Bourne has walked 3 batters and hit 1, so it's been 4 free passes, but the story of the day hasn't been the free passes, it's been the hits from YD. A double home run and 7 more singles from the Red Sox have brought around 8. No errors from either team, and Hardy is back set in the box. The 3-1 flies in high again, and he takes first base runners in first and second for the top of the order, Enzo Apodaca.
Now batting, the center fielder from Gonzaga University, number 3, Enzo Apodaca.
Apodaca has been one of the best contact hitters for YD all season. His average at 288. It's been hovering around 290 to 300 for most of the season. He's been here since day one. First pitch on the way. He swings at it. Could be 2. On the way to second. The throw to first gets away. So Apodaca safe on the fielder's choice. Hardy is retired at second. And Jackson comes around to score on the error at first. So a 4-6 putout. That's the fielder's choice.
Now
And then
batting,
the
catcher
error
from Cal Poly
came
Sloan,
on.
number 7, Ryan Stafford.
Does that go on Michelle or Kuroda Grauer on the turn?
Depends on who the scorekeeper wants to be mean to. So the error has been put on the board. It's yet to be put up in the stats. We'll see. I would imagine it goes on the shortstop.
First pitch on the way to Stafford. Pump fake from behind the plate towards first instead. Tosses back to Figueroa. Counts 0-1 to Stafford. YD leads 9-0. They've put up at least 1 run in the last 3 innings. It's been multi-run innings. YD is a team that strings together hits when they come as Stafford flies this one foul above our heads, heads up to the fans over there.
E6 is the ruling. So we'll go on Kuroda Grauer.
One runner aboard for YD. That's Apodaca as the breaking ball comes in the outside box, taken from Stafford for ball one. Stafford 1 for 2. He's also reached on a hit by a pitch. The elbow guard noticeably missing this time. The 1-2 comes in, big cut and miss on top of it, and Figueroa gets a strikeout to retire the side. YD puts another one up in the top half of the fifth. The score 9-0 Red Sox as we head to the bottom of the fifth. It's Perry Keatai and Luke West-Poley on the Cape League Broadcast Network.
Diggs.
Kendall Diggs will lead off for the Braves as they try to dig themselves out of a hole. It's 9-0, and Finnegan Wall has been dealing. He's back for a fifth inning of work and deals a first pitch ball to Diggs, taken in the dirt. He's only been up once. The Braves only about halfway through their second time through the order. And Diggs has a fly out today. The 0-1 or the 1-0 comes in at the shoulders. 2 balls from Finnegan Wall. To start things off, just a little bit of sun on the mound. It looks like Wall is glowing and everybody else in shadow as the 2-0 comes in. Waist high, strike one on the outside half. Diggs kicking around dirt in the lefty box. It's a righty on lefty matchup. YD playing the shift with Brady Day out in shallow right field. The infield pinched in as ball 3 misses just on the inside half. Nice looking one from Finnegan Wall, but we've seen the zone around that inside half get really tight. It was tight on Bryce Cunningham. Hardy runs over to second as ball 4 flies in on the outside, taken by Kendall Diggs, and they have a lead-off base runner on board. That's Wall's first walk of the day.
Now batting,
First
the left
free
fielder from
pass
the University of Iowa,
at
number
ball.
23, Sam Peterson.
And that brings up Sam Peterson in the 6th hole, batting out of Iowa, wearing that black and yellow helmet, yellow cleats. Wall set at the belt from the stretch. First pitch runs in on the hands, ball 1.
Wall came into this inning just 1 over the minimum, and talked about the lack of free passes. Not as strikeout heavy as he normally is, but is drawing a lot of barrel misses and weak contacts.
The YD defense has also been helping him out. There's been a couple of nice plays. Caught liner from Jackson over at short. That one hop from Day over at second. The defense has been perfect so far from the Red Sox. No errors in that column. Wall fires the 1-0. Peterson just late on the breaking ball, bounces it foul. A ball and a strike to the Iowa righty.
Yeah, YD's making up for the game that shall never be spoken of ever again last time they were here defensively.
Peterson was a first-team All-Big Ten selection for the Hawkeyes. Wall delivers. Flown foul, a lot of juice on that, but gets over the head, bounces off a roof behind us and back towards the eagerly awaiting spectators. Peterson's down 1-2. No outs, 1 on first. YD leads 9-0 in the bottom of the 5th. Pitch on the way, fouled back towards us, and the count will stay at 1-2.
Almost broke Bourne's broadcast camera.
Would have been a tough one. We know all about broken broadcast cameras.
Too much about them.
1-2 comes in at the shoulders. Ball 2. Peterson takes slight movement from the shoulders, but that bat stays vertical. The middle infield is pinched in. Hardy just off the line, but enough space to get back over there. Pretty evenly spaced. The outfield centered up as well. As Wall readies the 2-2. Big swing and a miss. Strike 3. Peterson goes down on a massive cut, and that's the first out of the inning. For
Now
Wall,
batting, the
talk
first
about his
baseman
strikeout
from
numbers,
Virginia
gets
Tech,
one there.
Number 19.
Yeah, that was
Garrett
just
Michelle.
an at-bat that he had full command of. That's exactly how you draw it up if you want to bounce back from a walk. You're ahead, and you just pound away at the zone and don't really give the batter much of a chance. That's what Wall did to get his first strikeout of the inning and first since the 3rd.
First baseman Garrett Michelle at the plate. Pitch on the way. Bunts shown and laid down. Foul up that third base line. Michelle runs it all the way out before realizing he'll have to run it all the way back as the count's 0-1. Diggs returning to first as well. Bourne is just playing for any runs whatsoever, trying to get any momentum going right now. They've had none of it all day. The bottom of the 4th was a 3-pitch inning from Finnegan. Well, part of the reason he's out here for the 5th. He's at 48 pitches through 4 1/3 innings. That's only 11 pitches per inning, 12 pitches per inning. 0-1 to Michelle. Wall, deep breath. Bunt shown again, popped up and hits way over the backstop. That was an optical illusion. I thought it was heading into the net. Instead, it flew over it. But Michelle can't lay it down. He'll be forced to swing on the 0-2 count. Day and Hardy both on the right side of second now. We know that's because the bunt is no longer in play, so Hardy came over from third, not protecting that line anymore. Pitch comes in underneath it on the swing and miss, and Wall gets 2 swinging in a row. 4-2 outs in the inning. Continues to deal
Now batting,
here in
the
the
shortstop
5th, and
from Rutgers
YD
University,
continues to lead
number 13,
9-0.
Joshua Corona.
Must have heard me talking about strikeout numbers. He's just 1 away from getting back to a strikeout per inning pace, and he has been excellent here through the 5th, showing no signs of slowing.
First pitch comes in to Josh Kuroda Grauer. The Rutgers Scarlet Knight. Kendall Diggs takes a couple of steps towards second, but holds off. 1-0 to Kuroda Grauer, the unfortunate recipient of the error in the last inning. Bounces in, nicely blocked at the knees by Stafford for ball 2. Diggs thought about it, but Stafford got there quickly. Kendall Diggs, 1 stolen base on the season through 19 games with the Braves. The 2-0 at the waist perfectly on that inside corner. Kuroda Grauer turns the hips away from it and doesn't go, but that's a called strike 1. Wall glove at the shoulders now brings it down. He is locked in. 2-1 on the way. Flown out towards center, going back towards the fence. Apodaca is there and makes the grab for out number 3. Once again, 1 base runner, first free pass of the day from Finnegan Wall, but that pitch count only at 53 through 5 innings, and we head to the top of the 6th at Doran Park. You're listening to YD Baseball. They lead 9-0 on the Cape Lead Broadcast Network.
Number 9, R.J. Austin.
R.J. Austin, the first batter for the Red Sox at the top of the 6th. Golden hour coming over the scoreboard, and the scoreboard only as the lights are on and the rest of the field in the shade, as Austin is 1 for 1. Excuse me, that was Josh Crow-Grauer. Austin is not 1 for 1. He's been to the plate more times than that. First pitch ball comes into Austin. Figueroa back out there. Set at the belt, nods a couple of times to Austin, who's 1 for 3. And he takes it at the shoulders for ball 2. Figueroa has been a little bit wild these last couple of pitches. He's been way up in the zone. That's how he walked, was it Apodaca in the last inning? Before Stafford ended it. The 2-0 grounded up the middle. Crow-Grauer charging in on it, but it sneaks under his glove, and Austin has his second base hit of the day. This one goes to the pull side of the field. His first hit went opposite way, and a leadoff runner once again for the Red Sox, third inning in a row now.
Batting, the right fielder from Stanford University.
R.J. Austin
number
just
15,
amazes
Braden
me with his
Montgomery.
ability to get hits in just every way you can possibly imagine. He broke his bat, it sounded like, on that one, hit it off the side of the mound, and just snuck that under Crow-Grauer's glove at short.
Our home run bomb hitter of the day, Braden Montgomery's back at the plate with 1 aboard. A fastball comes in on the elbow almost, but Montgomery turns away from it, ball 1. Cracked it out to deep left center field, snuck it over the wall. Gage Harrelson went diving over the wall with it and came away fruitless. The 1-0 ripped into left field. That'll drop down the line. Coming over on it, Peterson. Austin rounds second. It's at the wall, and it gets away from Peterson. He's being waved around third. Montgomery stays at second, but Austin scores from first on the RBI single from Braden Montgomery.
Goodness, that is lightning speed from R.J. Austin. He didn't even really end up using it, as that ball was struggled to be taken off the wall by Peterson, but Austin had the absolute afterburners on that time, and Braden Montgomery continuing to hit the ball well. 3 hits now, all of the extra base variety.
There was a part of me that so wanted to see Montgomery go for third on that. Then he'd be through the 3 hardest parts of the cycle, but unlikely he would have made it there. However, with a 10-run lead now, really no harm in trying. We'll see. He'll be back. We're only in the 6th.
Still got time.
Nobody gone. YD has already struck for 1, and they lead 10-0 at Doran Park. 11 hits for the Red Sox, no errors. 2 hits for the Braves and 1 error. Puts those numbers up there. And this is quite the opposite of what we saw on Wednesday.
Yeah, and it's almost about that last one. You said Montgomery could have dug for third. If he would have stayed at first, he'd be a triple away from the cycle. If he would have at least tried to go for third, he could have maybe got the triple and been a single away from the cycle, but would have been fun to see. He's still, at this rate, though, probably going to get 2 more chances at the plate, so if things go well for him, he will still have a shot to maybe complete the cycle. Bourne has already seen 1 this season. There have been 2 cycles in the
Now
Cape
pitching
League.
for the Braves from UMass Amherst, number 41.
One of them off the bat
Max
of
LeBlanc.
Derek Bender, who is hitless today. And we will step aside for a second as we have a new pitcher coming to the mound for the Bourne Braves. We'll be back for the rest of the 6th on the Cape League Broadcast Network.
Mississippi State University, number
Top
44.
of the 6th inning,
Hunter
Braden
Hines.
Montgomery with a 1 RBI double He has batted in 5 runs for the Red Sox today. 6 runs all season. So that will show you how important he's been today. As the first pitch is low and inside to Hunter Hines. It's Max LeBlanc on the mound. He comes from UMass Amherst, a local guy out of Sharon, Massachusetts. Right-handed pitcher looking over at Montgomery. The 1-0 ripped foul just gets into the netting of the backstop. Clipped up there at the top. The count's 1-1. Brady Day on deck. I expect at some point tonight we'll see Coach Pickler clear the benches, but in just the 6th inning, that's not happening yet. We're still with the regular order that we started off with. LeBlanc's taking a long time. He kicks and fires the breaking ball. Hines gets to it, but cracks it just foul up the first baseline. Sat back on it a little longer. We don't usually see him go after breaking balls, put him on the ground like that. It's 1-2. To Hunter Hines, who has 0 for 2 today, but he's reached on a walk. One of just 5 Red Sox that have been stranded on base today. The 1-2 comes in, drops in at the feet. He hops away from it. Count moves to 2-2. Hines taps the plate. That back foot in that very plate side back corner of the box. He's loaded. LeBlanc swinging the arm, now set at the belt with the brown glove. Checks on the runner. Fires the 2-2. Check swing, runs in at the knees for Hines, and he takes to run the count full. Montgomery's taking a big lead over there. As there is a heavy shift on second, there's nobody really taking care of him. Vastine out in shallow right field. The payoff ripped on a line out towards right field, and it drops in front of Diggs. Montgomery advances to third, and Hunter Hines has a single. Now 8 of the 9 Red Sox today in the order have a hit.
Now batting.
It's been an
the second baseman from
offensive
Kansas State
explosion.
University,
They're
number
making
10,
up for
Brady Day.
a game in which they had just one hit with now what feels like 2 games worth of hitting. As it's been contributions all up and down the lineup. Braden Montgomery, of course, has highlighted it, but said it, 8 out of 9 guys getting hits, and even the one who's hitless, Enzo Apodaca, has been on base twice and has also scored a run. So everybody's been productive offensively today for YD.
First pitch on the way today, spiked low and blocked nicely by Bodine, with runners on the corners and a 10-0 game favoring the Red Sox. Still no outs here in the 6th. We've seen a pitching change already. And Max LeBlanc out of UMass trying to keep this from falling way out of hand as Day pops it up foul. Could be a play on it and drops just over the fence. 4-1. We've already seen one game across the lead get way out of hand, and that is going against Katuitt Falmouth. The last time we checked was at 24 runs.
27 now. Added another field goal.
That is an unbelievable number of runs at this level of baseball.
They allowed a safety, though, so I don't know.
The 1-1 today popped up foul behind our heads again. A ball and a strike. Day is 2 for 3 today. Went down swinging his last time around, but he was the first to record a hit for the Red Sox today. Kept the party going with one, following that up immediately. 2 innings later, he swings it a couple of times below the knees. Now reset with runners on the corners. LeBlanc fires. Ripped foul up the first baseline. Day put that on a line almost to the fence. But the count will stay at 1-2. That ball was probably close to 100 miles per hour off the bat.
It was hit very hard.
LeBlanc takes a long stretch, puts his arms way out in front. Now he's back. Montgomery, lead on first. Day pushes it foul once again. And we will stay at 1-2. LeBlanc's putting it in there, but Day is doing a nice job fouling it off. There have been 5 pitches in this at-bat so far. So the second baseman out of Kansas State. Pitch on the way, spiked on the inside. Bodine can't frame it up. As ball 2 comes in. I say spiked, it doesn't even reach the dirt, but it comes in at such an overhead angle because of the height of Max LeBlanc that it looks like it's on its way to being spiked if Bodine wasn't there to block its path. Counts 2-2, runners on the corners. Pitch on the way, swing and a miss from Day. Lost the bat with his hand a little bit, stares at his hand, walking back to the dugout. And Bourne finally has one gone in the top of the sixth.
The first baseman from the University
YD's
of
already
California,
plated
Santa Barbara,
one. They've now
number
scored
12,
in 4
Xander
straight
Darby.
innings. 3 in the third, 5 in the fourth, and 1 in the fifth and sixth apiece, but they're still going here as Xander Darby comes up to the plate. He has a hit today, and he takes ball 1 on the outside. Back at the front of the lefty box, as always, in the blue accessories, you see Santa Barbara. The 1-0 comes in low and runs inside. 4-2. Ryan Jackson on deck. LeBlanc gets it back and takes his time stepping back over towards the mound. Feels like these pitchers today have been taking a long time up there. We haven't seen a pitch clock violation yet. I wouldn't be surprised, however, if we do, as the 2-0 comes in at the knees on the inside. 3 balls, no strikes to Darby. Another ball would load the bases for Jackson.
Yeah, Cunningham was working a little bit quickly to begin the game, but then after he gave up those runs, he started to slow down a little bit and try to reset, and since then it's been a little long.
The 3-0 looked inside. Darby thought so too, but it is a called strike. Some empathy from behind the plate. Count moves to 3-1. To Xander Darby playing first base today, usually over in the hot corner at third. Strike 2 comes in just over the plate once again. Darby thought that one was outside. Has some words for the umpire, and the count's now full. LeBlanc has battled back into this one. The payoff ripped through the gap, and Darby gets a hit. That's better than a walk as it scores a run. Braden Montgomery comes across on the RBI single from Xander Darby. How about that?
Yeah, things work out in the end for Xander Darby. How about another hit for him? He's got 2, and this has been some showing from these YD bats today.
We'll have a meeting on the mound for the Bourne Braves. 11-0 Red Sox, top of the 6th, 1 out. They've now put up 2 in this half inning as Bodine steps behind the plate.
That was
Now
rather
batting,
brief.
the shortstop from the University of Southern California. number
Didn't even
6,
walk in between
Ryan
the chalk.
Jackson.
Coach came out of the dugout, got up to the third base line, had about 2 words for Max LeBlanc, and then returned to the dugout.
Sometimes you just need a second to reset yourself. Ryan Jackson, 1 for 2 today with a walk, 2 runs scored, and he takes a first pitch ball, dropping low in the dirt. Productive day for Ryan out of USC, Southern California, that is. Waving the maroon and black bat, pops this one foul and out of play. Count moves to 1-1. That one dropped right behind us. Some screams coming in for the Bourne Braves. And YD looks to have this one very well in hand, 11-0. There has only been 1 comeback from 10 runs down this season. Jackson swings away for strike 2. That was when Chatham and Cotuit were playing each other. Cotuit led 12-2. Chatham came back and tied it. It ended in a tie called due to darkness. This one, YD leads 11-0. There have been no 11-run comebacks. The 1-2 just popped into right field and bounces on the line in fair territory. Everything going the Red Sox way today as Hines comes around from second to score. The throw to second is not in time. Jackson slides in there safely. Darby moves over to third. That looked like missed contact, and it just popped over Michelle's head into shallow right field. Hit the chalk on the line.
Now batting, the third baseman
And
from San
YD
Jose
leads
State University, number 11,
12-0 with
Theo
runners on
Hardy.
second and third.
Yeah, he got jammed and just flipped it out towards right field. Got it up the line, and the side spin took it deep to the sidewall in foul territory with the outfield deep. Plenty of room for Ryan Jackson to leg that out.
This one flies over Hardy's head but bounces off the brick backstop so hard that it came right back to Bodine, not giving YD a chance to score. We haven't seen a passed ball or a wild pitch like that all season get past the plate that hasn't scored a run.
Wow. Yeah.
First lucky break going Bourne's
Yeah, I
way
was going to
tonight.
say, things have gone YD's way the whole time. I don't think we can complain too much about it.
The 1-0 comes in, a late swing and a miss from Theo Hardy. He's down 0-2. One gone, runners on second and third for the Red Sox, who lead 12-0, about to flip the order for the 5th time. I guess they're flipping it for the 4th time, bringing it up. For the 5th time, ball 1 flies in at the shoulders. Hardy lays off. One of those that I thought was a ball was actually, or a strike was actually called a ball. So it's 2 balls, 1 strike, to Hardy. Pitch on the way, flown very high, but foul and out of play for strike 2 as the count's at 2-2 with 1 out. LeBlanc taking his time up there. The YD runners have their leads. The 2-2 lined into center field. That will drop. Darby jogs in. Jackson's held up at third, and Theo Hardy has his 2nd hit of the day. He only had 2 coming into today, and he's doubled it.
Theo Hardy at this
Now
rate is
batting,
going to be a
the center fielder
300
from
hitter
Gonzaga
at season's
University,
end.
Number 3, Enzo Apodaca.
Seeing the ball well, hitting the ball well. Say that about everybody in this lineup. Now things are up to Enzo Apodaca to go 9 guys with hits in this game through the YD orders. He's back up to the plate. Only one that hasn't gotten a hit yet in this one, although he's reached base twice.
13-0 for the Red Sox. Apodaca swings and misses, just slightly late for strike 1. The fastball blown right by him from LeBlanc. LeBlanc said he deals the 0-1, and Apodaca slightly late again. Strike 2. Jackson on third, Hardy on first. 4 runs plated for YD here. In the top of the 6th, there's just 1 out. And Apodaca cracks it towards left field, sprinting over towards the line. Peterson makes the catch on the run. Jackson will tag from third. Hardy is held up back to first, so it's a sac fly for Enzo Apodaca. Plates a run, and that's a productive at-bat. Put it out deep into left field.
batting, the
Nice
catcher
play
from
from
Cal Poly
Peterson.
Pro,
He was
number
shifted
7,
over, pinched towards
Ryan
the middle, but had
Stafford.
just enough time to get all the way over there. He was out in the corner right by that 330-foot sign.
It was a long run, and it was one of those that maybe you let it drop and be foul if this game's a little closer, but instead you get to make the highlight reel catch.
Stafford pops it up, going towards the shallow outfield. Kuroda Grauer over on it, and that's out number 3. As the runners were going on contact, YD plates 5, ties their 4th inning score, and it is 14-0. YD heading to the bottom half of the 6th inning at Doran Park in Bourne, Massachusetts.
16, Gage Harrelson.
Finally up to the bottom of the 6th inning. And Gage Harrelson will lead off for the Bourne Braves, who trail the Red Sox 14-0. It's looking like YD will have this one. There's a conversation going on between Wall and Manny Garza, who's come in. For Ryan Stafford, we knew we'd see the benches empty at some point. It looks like a malfunction with his helmet. He's coming over to get a new one.
Back is not attached.
So he does, and he'll be back behind the plate. I'm not spotting any other defensive subs yet. I assume they will come shortly, as actually Stafford has moved out to left field. And Austin is on the bench after a nice day. Ball 1 comes in to Gage Harrelson. And he crushes it out towards a deep left center field. Back at the wall, Apodaca leaping. And he makes the catch. What a play from the center fielder. And Bourne just cannot catch a break.
A deserved salute
Now
there
batting,
from
the
Finnegan
third
Wall
baseman
as
from the
he
University of Alabama,
waved the
number
hat
9,
out to Enzo
Bryce
Apodaca.
Evelyn.
He has used his defense, and they have been up to the task for him today. That's another one in a long line of really strong plays.
First pitch on the way now to Eblin, and he swings away. 4-strike-1 underneath it. It was a long, slow one. Bryce Eblin out of Alabama, Roll Tide. Red and white gloves, white shoes. 0-1 on the way. Drops low for ball 1. An hour and 52 minutes of game time here already in the bottom of the 6th, thanks to the offensive explosion of the Red Sox. 1-1 on the way, popped up, flared foul. Strike 2 to Eblin, who's 0 for 2, 2 strikeouts. Going for, as you like to say, the sombrero, the hat trick of strikeouts, your absolute favorite, at least one of them up there, I'm guessing, of baseball terms.
It's up there.
1-2 flies in at the shoulders for ball 2.
Sombrero, golden sombrero, and is it the horn?
The platinum
the platinum
sombrero,
sombrero is
then the
5,
horn- the
and then
horn.
the horn is the 6th.
Finnegan Wall is back out there, still just 60 pitches as the 2-2 drops in at the knees. Eblin takes and runs the count full. 3-2, 1 gone in the bottom half of the 6th inning. Bourne has been hit all over the field today. The payoff popped up into foul territory, spinning away and out of play. Goes over the net. Will stay at a full count. YD outfield was jogging over to see if there was a play, but the spin took it way out of here. The shift is pulled to the pull side as the payoff is ripped just over the head of Day, who was already out there in shallow right field. And Bryce Eblin has his first hit of the day, a liner out to right field.
It's a good at-bat from
Now
Eblin.
batting, the second baseman from
Sometimes
Vanderbilt
be
University,
tough, but
number 2,
Of course,
Jonathan
there's always the
Vastine.
reminder that games like this, it's important to stay focused, get your at-bats in, especially at summer ball, and that was a nice competitive one from Bryce Eblin. Worked the count full and rocketed one into right field.
Jonathan Vastine at the plate, and he takes strike 1, breaking just on that inside corner. Really well located from Finnegan Wall. Wall is set at the shoulders. He has been locked in. Pitch on the way. Lined into left field. 2 hits in a row now for the Bourne Braves. As Vastine beats the shift, sneaks it through that 4-6 hole. Left center field, nicely placed. Bourne has been putting good contact on it so far here in the bottom half of the 6th, and they have runners on
Now
first
pinch
and
hitting from
second
Liberty University,
with 1 out.
number 21, Cameron Foster.
Cam Foster comes to the plate, pinch hitting for Derek Bender. Foster out of Liberty University, standing tall in the righty box. Wall sets from the stretch, the pitch on the way. Popped up foul behind our heads. I heard that bounce off something behind me.
I was waiting for it to come back and hit me in the back of the head on the ricochet.
Be really tough to be hit from where we're sitting. But we saw one at Rudd Wilson Field drop just behind the net. It was popped up so high and made it to the spectators camped out in their chairs behind the net. As strike two paints the outside corner, Foster takes it. Really nice pitch from Wall. I'm sure there's action in the YD bullpen. I cannot see from where I'm sitting. But I don't expect Wall's day will go on much longer, even though that pitch count is low at 67. The 0-2 just bumped foul off the tip of the bat. And Foster lives to see another day. 0-2 with one out in the bottom of the sixth in a game that YD leads 14-0. Perhaps their best offensive performance of the year, and we're only in the sixth inning.
Looks like the pitcher that's out there warming up might be Wynn Scott, who was just added to the roster today.
Another 0-2 comes in, a check swing. Foul tip caught by Garza. And Wall has another strikeout to add to his count. 2 gone.
Now batting, the catcher from Coastal Carolina, number 45.
Caden Bodine is 1 for 2. Trying to bring across at least one and stay away from the shutout. Meanwhile, Finnegan Wall has pitched a gem through 5 2/3 so far. He has shut out one of the most prolific hitting teams in the league. Bourne is batting .273 as a team. YD just at .248. First pitch on the way to Bodine, hip level inside half, strike one. The wind has died down slightly. The atmosphere here is not as excited as they were at the beginning. Sometimes you score that many runs and it becomes a pretty calm place to be as everyone just accepts the outcome. Bodine swings away and pushes it foul into the backstop as the count runs to 0-2.
They have been grinding up this brick backstop today. It's the most action maybe we've seen on a backstop all season. It's been hit 3 or 4 times.
Wall set for the 0-2. It's on the way, swung on late and missed at the top of the zone. Bodine goes down swinging, 2 strikeouts in a row. Wall strands 2 aboard after back-to-back hits from the Braves, but they can't bring any across in Finnegan Wall. 6 scoreless innings here at Doran Park. And that's it for the 6th inning. It's Perry Kitai and Luke West-Poley on the Cape League Broadcast Network.
The Armor Dennis Red Sox want to thank Cape Cod Veterinary Specialists for sponsoring this broadcast. Cape Cod Veterinary Specialists provide premier emergency and specialty care for your beloved companions. They are located in Dennis and Buzzards Bay and are open 24 hours a day. It has been all YD today. They are up 14-0 in the top of the 7th inning
batting,
over the
catcher from
Bourne
Rice
Braves, and we will
University,
see
number
the
26,
first
Manny
new batter
Garza.
at the plate after we had some defensive changes in the last half inning for YD. Manny Garza at the plate against Max LeBlanc. First pitch He loses his bat as he fouls it back. That's the third time we have seen Manny Garza do that in the last 3 games.
Shaking his head at that. I really don't know what's going on. The pine tar tossed over to him. Kind of a ridiculous amount of times that bat's come flying out of his hand.
So 3 games in a row for Manny that he has lost the bat. As he gets a nice clap ovation back to the plate. He's down 0-1. Switch hitter batting left against Max LeBlanc exclusively out of the stretch. The 0-1 pitch. Fastball high. It's 1-1. YD put up 11 runs over the course of the 4th, 5th, and 6th after taking a 3-0 lead in the 3rd. Garza batting for R.J. Austin, who ends the day with 2 hits. 1-1. Punched foul and out of play on the left side. Ball and 2 strikes to Garza, the switch hitting catcher out of Rice. The long hold and pitch. It's up high. 2 balls, 2 strikes. As he climbs back in with the bases empty as he leads off. Sky turning a darker shade of blue here as we get into the night hours. In the top of the 7th, the 2-2 pitch. Reach for and poked foul. He'll stay alive and see another at 2-2.
Final score in Cotuit was 27-2. Going the Falmouth Commodores' way, they moved to 2017 and 2, and Cotuit falls to 26-12 and 1.
Crazy that he told me going into the day 14-0 would be our score, and it wouldn't even be the biggest blowout on Cape tonight. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Garza, and pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. LeBlanc collects the strikeout, and the first man is retired in the 7th. That'll bring up Braden Montgomery, who has been screaming hot today, 3 for 4 with 2 doubles and a home run wedged in between. He has scored a run in each of those 3 at-bats as well, following a flyout he had in the 2nd. Montgomery wiggling into the lefty box, another switch hitter, 2 straight batting for YD. Choked up a knuckle on the bat. LeBlanc kicks and throws, and it's rolled over foul on the first base side. Talking about standings, as we were alluding to just a moment ago with some West Division type stuff, and the East YD continuing to pace the rest of the division, but they had a chance to lose that title at the end of the day, 0-1, way up high, a ball and a strike. First time that the Red Sox were at risk of falling out of first place in a while, but in order to do that, Orleans would have had to sweep the doubleheader against Chatham, and YD would have to lose this game, which is looking unlikely. Orleans won game 1 against the Anglers with 2 runs in the 9th. 1-1 pitch comes inside, 2 balls and a strike. Chatham currently leading Orleans 2-1 in the 5th. YD rooting for the Anglers tonight as they want to keep that gap between them and Orleans as wide as possible as they look to clinch the East Division title over the next few days. 2-1 pitch. Check swing. The pitch is up high. It's 3 balls and a strike. 14-0 our score in the top of the 7th. YD leading. Bases empty. And 1 away to Braden Montgomery. Max LeBlanc, the UMass Minuteman, pitching to him. The 3-1. Swing and a worm burner foul on the right side. 3-2.
You could see Trudel think about trying to barehand it on the ground. He moved for it and then decided that maybe wasn't the best idea.
That's the right decision, I think. Guy like Braden Montgomery at the plate, who we saw absolutely scorch one out of here in the 4th inning. He can hit the ball as hard as anybody in this lineup. 3 balls and 2 strikes, the count to Montgomery, right on left. The payoff pitch. Hammered right field. Shafreda back at the wall, and he's got it. At the warning track, that looked like a no-doubter for Braden Montgomery, and Shafreda runs it down on the warning track for the 2nd out of the inning.
Wow. Wow, that ball was
Now batting,
crushed,
the designated
and
hitter from
it was
Mississippi
just
State University,
slightly too
number
high. The
34,
launch
Hunter
angle just
Hines.
slightly too high to get out of the park, but the power from Montgomery that he has displayed today is really something special to watch.
2 away, and the base is clear for Hunter Hines. First pitch, he swings and misses late on the fastball for strike 1. Got a piece of it. Hines is 1 for 3. He's walked and singled. The single coming in his most recent at-bat in the last inning. His team out to a cushy 14-0 lead in the 7th, 0-1. Bounces in, 1 ball, 1 strike. Balls have been carrying. This might have broken the record for most warning track flyouts we've seen this season. Seen the home run from Braden Montgomery. 1-1. Hines takes off the plate. 2 balls and a strike. That home run from Montgomery, the only one we've seen carry out of here. As the Braves have been held scoreless by Finnegan Wall, who has been phenomenal through 6 innings. Probably won't see him for a 7th. 2-1 pitch. Swing and a miss. Cut underneath that one, and the count is 2-2 with 2 gone and the base is clear in the top of the 7th to Hunter Hines.
LeBlanc has a nice fastball when he pulls it out. He's blown by a couple of YD batters now to get that swing and miss.
2-2 pitch. Check swing foul ball as he lifts it into the screen, and the count remains the same. Lights on in full force here from Doran Park. Decent-sized crowd on hand, all packed around the home plate area. 2-2 to Hines. Swing and a miss. Pulled the string on the breaking ball. He was out in front of it. 2 strikeouts for Max LeBlanc, and he goes 1-2-3 through the middle part of the YD order. First time the Red Sox have gone in order since the first inning. Red Sox don't score for the first time since the second, but they still lead. It's 14-0 YD at the stretch time here from Doran Park. You're listening to Red Sox Baseball on the Cape League Broadcast Network. $14-0 YD leading Bourne, and it
Now
is
batting,
a
right
YD
fielder from Rutgers
debut as
University,
Wynn
number 24,
Scott
Pete Chufreda.
who maybe has the best name in the Cape League, will take the bump for the first time against Pete Chufreda, hitting for Kendall Diggs. Left on left, the first pitch comes in, and it's low for ball one. Wins Scott, 6'2", 200-pound lefty out of NC State, junior and native of Jamestown, North Carolina. 1 ball, no strikes. The pitch bunt is up, pulled back, and it's 2-0 to Chufreda. Scott made 7 relief appearances this spring as the 2-0 comes in. Swing and a miss. Went low again and got Chufreda to golf at it. 5 in a third innings pitch, 3.3 ERA for the NC State Wolfpack. 2-1 the count. The pitch off the plate, ball 3. Scott was playing this summer prior to coming to YD in the Coastal Plain League with the Ashboro Zookeepers. 3-1 pitch, swing and a miss, and the count is full. Had a pretty strong season to this point, 3-0. 6 appearances, 2.1 ERA. The payoff is crushed out towards right center field. Montgomery coming over on it, and it drops in the gap. Montgomery will cut it off before it reaches the wall, limiting Chufreda to just 1. But the defensive sub from last inning comes in against YD's new pitcher and knocks a base hit into right.
Now batting.
Chufreda is aboard.
Number 23, Sam
Still plenty of
Peterson.
ground to make up for Bourne, down 14-0 in the bottom of the 7th, but a man on first with nobody out for Sam Peterson, who's on an 0-for-2 day. First pitch on the way, and it misses down low for ball 1. Scott very well may take this the rest of the way, as in the Coastal Plain League, he had 2 complete games this summer. Certainly has the longevity to go the final 3. 1-0. Grounded slowly over towards short. Flipped by Jackson over to Ostrander onto first, and not in time. But they do get the lead runner, so the bases don't clear out as Peterson legs out the fielder's choice, but YD does get the first out of the inning. Man on first with 1 away in a 14-0 game. Garrett Michelle will bat.
From Virginia Tech, number 19, Garrett Michelle.
Very nicely done by Ryan Jackson to get the little flip over in time. That ball moved slowly through the grass, and I almost thought he was going to go to first just for the safe out, but that side flip over to second was perfect.
First pitch misses down low. Garza trying to track it down as he knocked it on top of home and was looking behind him. He finds it and leaves Peterson on first base as Michelle takes ball 1. The Bourne first baseman is 0-for-2 with a ground out and a strikeout as now Manny Garza goes to talk to the new pitcher. Final line on Finnegan Wall, 6 innings pitched, 4 hits, no runs, 1 walk, and 5 strikeouts. He was here to play tonight, and he is in line for the win in this one. That would be his 4th decision of the year, and it would even up his record at 2-2 if YD holds on. Mound meeting breaks up, 1-0 count to Michelle. The kick and the pitch is a breaking ball low. He lays off, 2 balls, no strikes. Win Scott, Bourne Mark Scott, but Win is not just a teammate type nickname. That's what's listed on the roster. As the 2-0 comes out, and it's rolled foul right to us as it hits off the backstop in front of us. 2 balls and a strike, the count to Garrett Michelle. Also played in the Coastal Plain League last summer, played for the High Point Thomasville High Toms. 2-1 pitch comes in. Flown foul. There was a Cape League broadcaster calling their games last year. Andrew Selliver, who's currently with the Chatham Anglers, was in High Point Thomasville last season. Likely called some gems from Win Scott. Runner on first with 1 out and a 2-2 count. Pitch. Called strike 3 in there to Michelle. He watches the breaking ball go by in the bottom part of the zone, and there's 2 away in the inning.
Very nicely done from Win Scott, dealing with that leadoff base runner.
Joshua
Looked like
Grauer.
Bourne could maybe put something together, but once again just stifled from YD on the mound. It's been a pitching kind of day for YD.
Joshua Kuroda Grauer, the batter. First pitch to him. It's a breaking ball that drops underneath the zone. A ball and no strikes. Kuroda Grauer 1 for 2. He singled and was caught stealing in the 3rd. Flew out in the 5th. Bourne making their way through the bottom of the lineup for the third time. 1-0 pitch. Breaks into the high part of the zone. Up and in on the corner for strike one. 1-1 the count. 14-0 is the lead for YD. Sam Peterson on first. 1-1 pitch. Off the end of the bat, looped foul on the right side. Claps off the stone steps on the right side of the field. Fans sit on to view. Ball and 2 strikes the count with 2 gone to Kuroda Grauer. Scott throws. This one jammed down the right field line, running over on it Montgomery, and it's a foul ball. He had no chance to get there. That ball was not hit very hard. It would have likely been at least one to advance Peterson from first to third, maybe even extra bases for Kuroda Grauer, but it just sliced wide of the line. A ball and 2 strikes now to the Bourne shortstop. And he calls time as his elbow pad came undone. Wynn Scott, who has never suffered a losing decision in his college career across both college and summer ball, deals the 1-2, and it's grounded left side. That's a base hit through the left side of the infield, and that'll keep the inning going. Peterson moves up to second. He'll stop there. Kuroda Grauer with his second hit. He's been the best bat in the Bourne lineup today. And that flips things to the 9-hitter, Gage Harrelson, who's 0 for 2. First and second, 2 outs. This is one of the better scoring threats that Bourne has had in this game. They've had first and second before. That was in the last inning. They had it with 1 out before Finnegan Wall ended his day with back-to-back strikeouts. Harrelson is lined out and flied out. First pitch on the way. Rips it foul on the left side. No balls and a strike to count.
Silver lining of today for Bourne is that Josh Kuroda Grauer, who's down at the bottom of the list in terms of batting average, he was exactly 200 coming into today. He has 2 hits. That should move him up a little bit.
0-1 pitch is grounded left side. Diving effort. It gets by Theo Hardy and into left field. Runner coming around third. Now he gets the stop sign, and Peterson will be back to the bag with no one covering it. So runners go station to station, and that loads the bases. Really nice play out in left field by Ryan Stafford to get to that ball as quickly as he did. But Harrelson with a hit for the first time today, and that turns the lineup over. Back-to-back singles on 2 outs, and the bases are loaded. And there is no one at the plate, and now we see someone walking out of the Bourne dugout that is not Bryce Eblin. No one is in the remote vicinity of home plate, and imagine we're going to get a pinch hitter, and it looks like we are.
That looks like Bryce Eblin putting his gloves on.
And, yeah, you might be right, because the guy I was looking at thinking it would be the batter is Jonathan Vastine, who's on deck. Eblin was just not ready. And there's the Alabama Crimson Tide batting helmet coming out of the dugout. That was a bizarre sequence.
The third baseman from the University of Alabama, number 9, Bryce Eblin.
So Eblin will come up to hit. I don't know if he was doing something else. He's not a catcher, so it's not as if he had to take his gear off, and even if he had to do that, that doesn't take very long. Not sure what was going on there, but the bases are loaded with 2 outs. Scott throws home. Eblin taps it foul right behind home. Leaping up, Manny Garza will throw it back to his pitcher as Scott moves ahead in the count 0-1.
My only conclusion is that maybe he thought he wasn't going to come up in this inning. Not quite sure about that. I mean, the Braves have now strung together 2 hits in a row on 2 outs.
0-1 pitch is hammered out towards right field. Montgomery gets a bad read on it, now going back at the wall, and he makes the catch. Montgomery at the warning track, and that ends the inning. YD pitching has been using the whole field today, and they strand the Bourne Braves loaded in the 7th inning. It's 14-0 Red Sox. We head to the 8th. You're listening to YD Baseball on the Cape League Broadcast Network. Into the top of the 8th inning from Doran
Now
Park
batting,
in
the
Bourne.
second baseman
YD
from
has put
California
up
Baptist
2
University,
touchdowns
number
on the
5,
Bourne Braves.
Garrett
They're up
Ostrander.
14-0 as Garrett Ostrander will bat for Brady Day. He came on as a defensive sub in the last inning for Day over at second base. Max LeBlanc remaining on the bump for Bourne. First pitch comes in. It's in for a strike. 2 touchdowns by YD. Reminds me of the rapidly approaching football season. Very exciting. Heard a lot about Washington Commanders news lately from our friend Ben Strober. 0-1 pitch. Reached for, poked out towards right field. Should be playable for Shafreda, who sticks the arms out and makes the catch without a whole lot of movement for the first down. Xander Darby will bat with the bases empty and 1 away with YD up 14 here in the 8th. Commanders changed ownership groups. That was what
Now batting, the
he was
first
telling
baseman
us
from the
about.
University
Of course,
California,
he's
Santa
very
Barbara,
glad with
number
that, as
12,
are most
Xander
fans.
Darby.
Darby's had a nice day himself, 2 for 4 with a run and an RBI.
First pitch to Darby, and he lifts it foul out of play on the left side.
Loud crack of the bat on that.
Feel like this is the point in the baseball broadcast where we talk about things completely unrelated to baseball. In the top of the 8th with a 14-run lead for YD as the 0-1 comes in, and it drops down low. Need like a
Absolutely could be the case.
random topic generator or something. Ball on a strike is the count to Xander Darby. Kick and the pitch. That one misses up high. 2 balls, 1 strike.
Darby's average is now almost up to 300 and might be after tonight. He came into today 290.
2-1. High and tight. 3 balls and a strike.
That average has only been on the rise as of late. He has become one of the most productive guys in the YD lineup.
He's 2 for 4 today. And he takes outside, ball 4. Quick calculation says that if that's his final at-bat, he'll end the day with a 305 batting average on the season. As he works the walk, stays 2 for 4, and Xander Darby is aboard. Runner on first with 1 out for Ryan Jackson, who has reached base his last 3 times and scored a run in each of those as well. Red Sox up big in the 8th. First pitch to Jackson. Jammed up in the air. Shallow right field. 3 players converging for Bourne, and the catch will be made by Vastine, the second baseman. And that is the second out of the inning.
That looked like it might drop for a second. We've seen a couple of those just pop-ups to
Now
no
batting,
man's
the
land.
third baseman
3
from San
players
Jose State
converging on it,
University,
and it
number
drops
11,
in
Theo
what you call the
Hardy.
Bermuda Triangle. But that one, Vastine made it there just in time.
Theo Hardy at the plate, runner on first, 2 outs with YD up 14. Those are always fun to watch if they're not on the side of your team, as all the players just kind of look at each other and the ball goes right in between all of them. First pitch is hammered out towards center, coming a long way on it. Harrelson won't get there. It's another base hit for Theo Hardy, and he is 3 for 4.
Today is his breakout game. He's been in the lineup thanks to his glove work over at short. Today, 3 hits
Now
came
batting,
into
the
today
center fielder
with
from
2,
Gonzaga
so
University, number 3,
150%
Enzo Apodaca.
increase on his hit total for the season.
Extends the inning for Enzo Apodaca. Runners on first and second, 2 away. Apodaca's still looking for his first hit. First pitch in. Check swing and a called strike at the top part of the zone, 0-1. Apodaca, the only starter that is hitless. Garza and Ostrander, the 2 in the batting lineup that also don't have hits, but they both came on as pinch hitters and have only had 1 at bat. 0-1 pitch. Taken down low, 1-1. Not to say at all that Apodaca hasn't been productive at the plate today, because he has. He's walked and scored a run and also brought in a run in the 6th inning, his last plate appearance with a sac fly. 1-1 pitch. Taps it foul behind home, 1-2. YD with 14 runs off 16 hits, no errors. Bourne with no runs off 7 hits, 1 error in this one. Red Sox have only left 6 guys on base, pushed 14 across. 1-2 pitch. Lifted up in the air, foul ground, left side of the infield, coming over from third. Eblin leaning to his left, but he makes the catch. And that retires the side. So the Red Sox strand a pair, but not really mattering as we're here headed to the bottom of the 8th from Doran Park. Red Sox in control. It's 14-0 YD. You're listening to Red Sox Baseball on the Cape League Broadcast Network. (14-0) Red Sox in the bottom of the 8th inning here from Doran Park. Luke Westpoli with Perry Keatseye alongside. We've got some subs to go through. First off, on the mound for YD, Braden Montgomery, the two-way, is going to make his second appearance. He was very good in his lone inning of work against Chatham. The righty flamethrower who was in the batting lineup today for YD and had 3 extra base hits, 2 doubles, and a home run, is going to look to shut the door on this one in the late innings. Additionally, the Red Sox have burned their DH, so Hunter Hines has come out of the DH spot to go play first. Hunter Hines could potentially come up in the next inning. If that were the case, then that spot would be occupied.
Vanderbilt University, number 2,
I believe they would have to sub in some way for that, but instead, Braden Montgomery taking the mound, and he will face off against Jonathan Vastine. Xander Darby has moved to third. First pitch on the way, and it's inside for ball 1. Jackson has moved from short over to second. Ostrander is in right, and Theo Hardy is playing short. A ball and no strikes to Vastine. The pitch down low, 2-0. 14-0 Red Sox as Montgomery looks to close this one out. It's 2 balls and no strikes to Vastine. Wine, kick and pitch. Fastball, blew it by him there. Swing and a miss for strike 1. Vastine is 1 for 3. He has singled and grounded out twice.
This might be Shohei Ohtani inspired. You know, he's been taking the internet by storm as of late.
2-1, spiked in for ball 3.
YD thought, well, why not? We have our own two-way guy. He'll be making his way to the league in no time.
He is electric, really, from both sides. and probably the most high-profile player in the transfer portal in college baseball right now. 3-1. This ball is crushed out to straightaway center field. Long run for Enzo Apodaca, and all the way back at the wall. Reaching up instead, it's Stafford in left, who makes the catch, calling off Apodaca for the first out of the inning. One away as Cameron Foster will get his second look at the plate. He K'd his
Now
first
batting,
time up,
the designated
swinging.
hitter from Liberty University, number 21.
0-1 as
Foster.
a 0 for 1, I should say, as a pinch hitter for Derek Bender out of the DH spot. Righty on righty, bases clear, one down. Montgomery deals the first pitch, a breaking ball that he tugged away from the swinging bat of Foster. Really nice pitch there for strike one. Change-up type of offering. No balls and a strike as Foster standing pretty tall in the righty box, so one pitch. Fastball beaten in the air, right field. Foul ground coming over from second base. Jackson makes the catch right on the line. Nearly overran that ball and had to adjust back to where he was coming from, but he puts it away for the second out of the inning. First two men retired by Braden Montgomery.
Now batting, the catcher from Rutgers University, number 6.
And now we will see the first at-bat for Hugh Pinckney, who came on as a defensive sub for Caden Bodine. Bottom 8, 14-0 Red Sox. 2 outs and the base is empty. First pitch called strike on the inner half of the zone. Pinckney, the Rutgers Scarlet Knight, standing in to the tune of a 244 average, 3 driven in on the year. 0-1 pitch, spiked in. That one just gets away from Montgomery.
Back to the backstop. Luke, I was just thinking, because we have so much spare time on our hands, I wanted to ask you, if you could hide a giraffe from the government, you had to hide the giraffe, save your family from doom, where would you hide a giraffe?
Hiding a giraffe. Let me think. 1-1 the count to Pinckney, and pitch. And he grounds it up the right side, coming a long way, shifted into the right field. The throw on to first is not in time. It's legged out by Pinckney as Jackson nearly threw him out, throwing across his body from right center field there. That would have been something, but Pinckney reaches. Inning extends for Pete Shafreda, runner on first, 2 away with YD still up 14.
Now batting, the right
There,
fielder from Rutgers
are we
University,
talking like
number
anywhere
24,
in the world?
Pete Shafreda.
Anywhere. Except you can't make something up like underground bunker that's 19 feet tall. Has to be reasonable.
Let's see. What about those tall buildings that they store rockets in? First pitch on the way is way up high for ball 1 to Shafreda. You know what I'm talking about? Like at Cape Canaveral in Florida, where NASA stores the rockets, and they're the very tall, straight buildings. You could probably fit a giraffe in there. That's a government building, though, so if I'm hiding it from the government, maybe that's not a good idea. The 1-0 pitch drops low.
You know what they say, though, keep your friends close and your enemies closer.
They might not think to look in their own facility. Do you have an idea yourself?
I do. I think probably a school auditorium. Doesn't really matter which one. And the reasoning behind that is most school auditoriums, I'm thinking of my own high school, are double height because they have a balcony going on. So really any theater would have enough space, and the giraffe could run up and down the aisle, have some space to move around. Have to be a little bit of a wide aisle, maybe a handicap accessible aisle.
Shafreda swung and missed. The count is 2-1. Are we talking public school or private school? Because that's important.
Public school, I feel like it would be bigger, maybe more space backstage if the giraffe needed to hide from hiding. So I'd go public school.
Public
big one.
school.
Big public school.
2-1. Swing and a miss. Strike 2.
If you want to get real technical about it, I have a lot of cousins out in the Chicago area that all went to New Trier High School in Winnetka. No, that's not in Winnetka. Is it? I don't think so. Out there, near Glencoe, because that's where they live.
2-2 from Montgomery. High for ball 3.
A very big school, very big auditorium. I actually was in there to watch my cousin perform as part of the chorus in a production of Mamma Mia.
Is that appropriate for high school age?
Oh, absolutely.
Payoff pitch. Runner goes, and it's down low. Ball 4. Back-to-back base runners on 2 outs for the Braves. They've got runners on first and second, 2 away in the bottom of the 8th. It's a 14-0 game with the
Now
Red
batting,
Sox
the
in
left
front.
fielder
Sam
from the University
Peterson
of
has
Iowa,
made it
number
further
23,
up the base
Sam
paths than
Peterson.
any other member of the Braves. Got to third his last time up. He's 0 for 3. 14-0 our score as Montgomery looks to retire the inning. So a high school auditorium and a rocket storage facility. First pitch is up high for ball 1 to Sam Peterson.
You know, I think Elon Musk would have maybe a spare rocket
Yeah,
storage
that's-
facility.
That's not government run. This is the most unhinged this broadcast booth has been all season long, but that's just how this game has gone.
Have to shout out one of our media interns, Caroline, who has a list of questions to ask when you have nothing to talk about.
1-0 pitch is in there for a strike. That's a very interesting one. The list is good, but that might be the best one on the list.
I think so. We have to start with the best. You never know how much time you're going to have.
1-1 the count and pitch. Check swing, appeal to first, and he held up. 2 balls and a strike to count. First and second, 2 outs with Whitey up 14-0 in the bottom of the 8th. Well, theoretically, hopefully, fingers crossed, we don't see a game with this type of scoreline necessarily as we're approaching playoff time. They should likely be more competitive games as we move forward, but who knows? 2-1 pitch. Wrapped foul and very well clubbed out into the parking lot on the left side. That ball probably went 350 feet, but it was just as far as it was foul, and it's 2-2.
I would call that one perpendicular to a line that you would draw between first and second.
It's like almost went directly behind him. 2-2 pitch, way up high. We've seen that a little bit from Montgomery, who looks at his hand, maybe struggling with grip a bit as the count runs full to yet another batter.
There is a lot of humidity in the air out here. We've seen it all summer. The sheet of paper, the stat sheet that we picked up at the beginning of the game, is actually slightly damp.
When we go to Chatham, it's like you dunk it in water. That's how humid it is there. It's close to that here, but definitely a very humid night. Runners will be off at the pitch. 3-2 offering. High for ball 4, and Braden Montgomery has walked back-to-back hitters to load the bases here in the bottom of the 8th.
I believe this is the first time. Actually, no, they had the bases loaded
Now batting,
because
the
there was
first
a
baseman
potential
from
grand
Virginia
slam
Tech,
that
number
was
19,
caught.
Garrett
But
Michelle.
twice in a row now, 2 innings where YD has had the bases loaded with 2 outs the last time. Grand slam robbery from, it was Montgomery.
It was Braden
out
Montgomery that made the catch, yep, in right field.
there. And it was a good one. He had a long way to run to make that grab. Trying to preserve the shutout. He retired the first 2 quickly, since then a pair of walks and a hit have loaded the bases for the Bourne Braves.
In his first appearance, his only appearance as well, on the mound against Chatham, he only faced 3 batters in 1 inning of work, and he struck out 2 of them. Looked like he was going to go efficiently again here through the 8th, but this inning has prolonged a bit. The batter is Garrett Michelle. Meeting on the mound is broken up. Bases are loaded with 2 gone on the bottom of the 8th. YD still comfy at 14-0. First pitch on the way. Rises high and away. 1 ball, no strikes. Michelle has put 1 ball in play. That was back in the 2nd inning when he grounded out to first base. But since then, he has struck out twice, 1 each way. Right on left, 1-0. High and away again, 2 balls, no strikes.
Montgomery seems to just be releasing the ball a little bit early, losing control slightly at the top of the zone. We saw when he was warming up, he seemed unsatisfied. A number of those pitches rose high on the fastball, just a straight line around the shoulder height.
Seen a couple of them that he has spiked, but most of his misses have been up. 2-0, and it's high and away again for ball 3. Shutouts on the line here. 3 balls and no strikes the count with the bases loaded and 2 away to Garrett Michelle. His team down 14 in the bottom of the 8th.
A game like this, you really don't want to break the shutout with a walk. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter. It's more of a pride thing.
The 3-0. There's a strike over the part of the plate, 3-1. All it takes is 1 pitch for Braden Montgomery to get out of this. There are 2 outs.
this humidity, it might also be contributing to the grip problems out there. Because if this sheet of paper is wet, I imagine the baseball is as well.
The 3-1. Swing and a miss. Really nice pitch there for Montgomery. Brought the fastball in. And Michelle couldn't catch up to the heat. Runners will get a head start. 3 balls, 2 strikes, so the base is loaded and 2 outs. Montgomery kicks and deals. Called strike 3, and that ends the inning. Got the fastball for the 3rd strike call in the top part of the zone. It's a sombrero for Garrett Michelle. And for the 2nd straight inning, Bourne leaves them loaded as the shutout remains intact. We head to the 9th here from Doran Park. It's 14-0 Red Sox. You're listening to YD Baseball here on the Cape League Broadcast Network. Cape Cod Healthcare is proud to be the official healthcare sponsor of the Cape Cod Baseball League, and with 6 convenient urgent care centers across Cape Cod from Falmouth to Orleans, we're ready to treat a wide variety of minor illnesses and injuries so you can get back to your regularly scheduled summer plans quickly. Open daily with no appointment needed and staffed by board-certified ER providers. View wait times at capecodhealth.org. Cape Cod Healthcare, urgent care, minor emergencies, major attention. YD has been in control of this one since the 3rd inning. It's 14-0. The Red Sox are out in front, and they will face off against a new pitcher that takes the bump here for the 9th. Brady Aftim out of Yukon. The righty gets the call here in the 9th inning, and a bit of a blowout for the Red Sox as he will try to pitch his way through the 2, 3, 4 hitters in the order for YD. Aftim, the junior, and the native of Gorham, Maine. We have a few Maine natives in this league this season. 3.91 ERA across 26 relief appearances for the Huskies, a team that was ranked top 10 in the nation this year. Ryan Stafford starts off at the plate. This is the 8th appearance for Aftim this season. He is 2-0 with the save. Struck out 13 in 12 innings and a 2.25 ERA. He has been a strong arm for them this season. First pitch to Stafford. Weaves outside for ball 1. As we continue to scoreboard watch with the division race tightening between YD and Orleans. Chatham leads the Firebirds 3-2 in the bottom of the 6th in the 2nd game of the Twin Bill. 1-0 pitch. Foul tipped into the glove of Hugh Pinckney, who's back behind the plate for another inning as a sub for Bourne. And it's a 1-1 count to Ryan Stafford. Stafford is 1 for 4 with a single and a hit by pitch, the 1-1. And he flies this one out towards straightaway center. Harrelson camped underneath, takes a couple trots forward now, and he makes the catch. That's the first out of the 9th inning. 1 man gone for Manny Garza, who will get his 2nd look at the plate. He struck out swinging as a defensive sub turned pinch hitter his last time. Came in for R.J. Austin. Came in behind the plate, I should say, for Ryan Stafford, who moved to left. He's batting for R.J. Austin, who finished the day 2 for 4. Half team kicks and deals. Garza takes a strike on the inner half waist high, 0-1. Base is clear, 1 away. 14-0, the Red Sox lead. And Braden Montgomery, the man who was on the bump in the last inning, is in the on-deck circle. 0-1 pitch. This one pushed the opposite way out towards pretty deep left field, but Peterson should have the room, making his way towards the line. He makes the catch, and that's the second out. Braden Montgomery with a rather dramatic inning in relief his last time as he retired the first two batters quickly, and then the bases were loaded off a single walk and walk. And with a full count, 2 outs and the bases loaded, got the strike 3 call to retire the side. Montgomery back up to the plate. It has been his day. He is 3 for 5 with 2 doubles and a home run. He has scored 3 runs and batted in 5. First pitch on the way, and he fouls it off left side out of play.
That pitching performance could only be described as ice cold. It was pretty darn cool. That shutout was on the line. He'd been wild through a couple of at-bats, walked 2 batters, and
0-1, a sword swing. He goes around on a pitch in. The Dirty's down 0-2.
he decided today is not the day I'm going to walk home a run in a 14-0 shutout.
So he works a scoreless inning, hits a home run, scores 3 runs, and drives in 5. That is as productive a day, I think, as you'll find anyone doing in the Cape League all season long. Down 0-2 here. The pitch, swing and a miss, strike 3, and that ends the top of the 9th inning as Bryce Afteam works through the middle part of the YD order in pretty efficient fashion, going 1-2-3 and doing it in just 8 pitches. We head to the bottom of the 9th here from Bourne. It's 14-0 Red Sox here on the Cape League Broadcast Network.
Now batting.
Bottom of the 9th inning
Rutgers University,
from Doran
number
Park
13,
in Bourne,
Joshua
and it's
Kuroda
14-0 Red Sox. And coming off just 2 days of rest, Max Banks back onto the mound for the Red Sox. Pitched against Katuitt a few days ago, and he is back to it here in the 9th, and he's got a nice lead to work with. The first pitch is on the way, and it is taken for a strike by Joshua Kuroda Grauer, who is 2 for 3. He has been the best hitter in this lineup today for the Braves. Came in batting 200, but it's had a nice day. 0-1 from Banks. A breaking ball is hammered out towards center field, Enzo Apodaca back at the track, takes a step in and makes the catch for the first out of the inning.
I really enjoyed that Katuit, back to it run you got going on there. I didn't notice that.
I didn't
did.
even. I have
Now
no
batting,
idea what you're
the center
talking
fielder
about.
from
I'm sure it
Kansas Tech,
happened, and now I'm going to go back and listen to
Gage
that, and that's
Harrelson.
going to be. I'm going to be like, oh, yeah, that was not done on purpose. One away for Gage Harrelson with the bases empty. First pitch on the way, and it breaks inside for ball one. Should put that on my highlight tape. Harrelson is 1 for 3. Bases are clear. A kick and the pitch from Banks, and it slides way inside. 2 balls, no strikes. YD took a 3-0 lead in the third inning of this game. They had 2 5-run innings coming in the 4th and 6th with a 1-run inning down the middle. Went the last 3 scoreless, but didn't really matter. 2-0 pitch from Banks. Fastball high and away. 3 balls, no strikes. Red Sox will be back at home tomorrow. After this one, just 2 more road games left, a trip to Brewster and a trip to Wareham on the final day of the regular season. 3-0 pitch on the inner corner for strike 1. Home games for YD against Harwich, Chatham, and Orleans remain. It's been a high-scoring day in the Cape League. Harwich putting up 17 runs in their game against Brewster. 3-1, clubbed foul on the left side.
Something's in the water today.
YD and Harwich will meet tomorrow at 4:30 p.m. from Red Wilson Field. We hope you can join us for this game as the regular season wanes. We will see playoff baseball, though, at Red Wilson this year. 3-2. Crushed foul on the left side and out of play. These are some loud hits from Harrelson, but yet to straighten anything out. Harwich puts up 17. YD puts up 14. Hyannis puts up 8. And Falmouth, highlighting the day, put up 27. 3-2 pitch. Breaking ball loops just high, ball 4. And Harrelson works the walk. 1 out, turns the lineup over for Bryce Eblin. He is 1 for 4.
Now batting, the third baseman from the University of Alabama, number 9, Bryce
YD
Eblin.
looking to keep the shutout going. Eblin, the left-handed hitter, comes up with a runner on first, 1 away.
Eblin almost had a grand slam 2 innings ago. It was so close to getting out of here.
First pitch is high for ball 1.
And Brady Montgomery robbed it at the warning track. I think everyone in here thought it was a grand slam, which wouldn't do much for the game, but would just make you feel good. You know, grand slams are always fun.
1-0 pitch on the way. And it's hard grounded over towards second, past the outstretched glove of Ryan Jackson, and into right field for a base hit. Eblin with his second knock. Harrelson moves up to second base. They're on first and second with 1 away for Jonathan Vastine.
Now batting, the second baseman from Vanderbilt University, number 2, Jonathan
We've seen 3
Vastine.
pinch hitters for Bourne, but it hasn't been a clear out the benches type of day necessarily for Scott Landers despite this scoreline. He's kept his lineup somewhat similar. First and second, 1 away. Double play in effect. That would end the game. Banks will step off and call time, and now Manny Garza will trot out to him as the two look to relay the signs. Preview of tomorrow's game, it will be Smith Pinson on the mound for YD against Tom Shimoleski for Harwich, the lefty out of Princeton. Banks comes set following the mound meeting. First pitch on the way. Swing and a miss. A nice breaking ball that he gets the chase on, and it's 0-1 to Vastine.
Bourne has 9 hits, but they have stranded a very unlucky 10 runners on base, including leaving them loaded twice.
When YD pitching has been on this season, they have stranded a lot of opposing runners on base. The 0-1 pitch is a breaking ball down. And it's a ball and a strike. When YD had their last shutout on the pitching side of things against Orleans, they forced the Firebirds to strand 10 guys on. There were 10 hits in that game for Orleans, and they failed to plate a run. Today, Orleans has 9. And They are yet to score, but maybe threatening a bit here in the ninth. 1-1 pitch. Fastball slowly looped up the middle. It is caught on the fly, and the bag is tapped on by Theo Hardy for the unassisted double play, and the ball game is over. That's the cherry on top for Max Banks and YD, who improved to 22-16-1 this season, and the Red Sox with perhaps their best offensive night of the year, and it comes against a Bourne team in cross-divisional play that YD sees for the final time this season. This was a day for YD. 14 runs off 16 hits. That's a way to rebound from dropping 2 straight. Red Sox are back into the win column. And for the day, they will continue to lead the East Division. Crucially, as we move down the stretch, we are officially down to the final 4 games of the regular year. Barry could say a good amount about this one. Really just good hitting up and down the lineup from YD. Their pitching came to play as well. Finnegan Wall was excellent in the start. He earns the win. We got to see some electric stuff from Braden Montgomery as well. Max Banks comes in and shuts the door. This was just a fun one for YD, having a field day on the road coming out of the off day.
There's especially some guys that today had a particularly nice day, one for which Theo Hardy, 3 hits for him, only 2 coming into today. Max Banks, who had a couple of rough outings at the beginning of the season and since then has had a couple of great outings where he hasn't let a run across. And you look up and down the lineup, Braden Montgomery, a phenomenal day, Xander Darby, a phenomenal day. And it's very encouraging to see, particularly after that loss on Wednesday, this was the best possible way to bounce back from that 8-0 shutout, going the opposite direction. So this looks like a team that should be leading the East Division, can compete for a championship, and we'll see if they can keep it going. It's all about the streakiness.
Is indeed all about how you play when it matters most, and for YD, certainly hope that we can see a sort of performance like the one we saw today. Final line score in this one, YD 14 runs off 16 hits, no errors, and 8 left. Bourne, no runs off, 9 hits, 1 error, and 11 left. The winning pitcher was Finnegan Wall. He improves to 2-2 on the year, and the losing pitcher in this one was Bryce Cunningham as he picks up the losing decision for Bourne. That'll wrap things up here from Doran Park for Perry Keatseye, the rest of our great crew here at the YD Red Sox. Thanks so much for tuning in. We hope to see you tomorrow when YD takes on the Harwich Mariners at a 4:30 start. Until then, Luke Westpoli saying so long and good night. Red Sox win it 14-0.